Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me on tonight's live stream. I'm SuzetteSpeaks, and you are watching my YouTube channel. I want to welcome all of you who found me. Go ahead and hit the like button and that notification bell so that you can get notified of my future shows. Today, we are still on a hot button issue. I know y'all tired of it, but I guess you're not because you keep asking for it. And I promised that I would follow up with a part two to Saturday's conversation. What are we talking about tonight? Toxic relationships lessons from Will and Jada. Are y'all ready? I have a very special guest with me tonight. I am bringing on a male's perspective. I think you've heard enough about what I have to say. I am going to be bringing on a gentleman who has his own YouTube channel. We're going to welcome for the first time on the Suzette Speaks show, Mr. Black Man. I put Black Man. I got to fix that. Black Man Unfiltered Network. I'm going to fix that right now. We're live, so you know how typos go. But I want to put some respect on his name. Let me change it real quick. Hit the like button as you come in. Thank you for watching. Little late night streaming. It's about 9 p.m. Eastern and his time, 8 p.m. Central. He's logging in, giving us some of his feedback on what we can learn as lessons, both for Will and for Jada, and most of all for us. You know, I don't like to bring relationship chatter to this space by means of a simple, a judgment fest. The way I would love us to conduct ourselves is to kind of try to use some of what has been broadcast in the public space about Will and Jada's apparent relationship to provide life lessons, strategic pathways for how we hopefully avoid some of the same pitfalls. So if you've ever been in a toxic relationship, if you ever tried to get away and couldn't, if you love until it hurt, or if you just weren't compatible but you didn't know the signs, tonight's show is the show for you. So hit the like button. Again, lessons from Will and Jada. I have the perfect gentleman to come through at his first time. Like I said, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Why don't you? I will be on his channel tomorrow. How about that? He's having a Black woman speak on Black women conversation tomorrow. So I will make sure to put that link in my community page as well. But he said yes to my invite here tonight to talk about, again, lessons from Will and Jada. It is a hard topic for me because, again, I don't have the most relationship experience. I am always trying to get better as a human being. And I want to set that intention that whatever way this conversation goes, again, he is unfiltered. So I will warn you, there is no holding back. And I told him as soon as you want to. He had a fantastic show he was just telling me about last week about the topic. And so I think inquiring minds want to know, especially from a Black man's perspective, what he is observing in the lessons that we can learn from Will and Jada. Y'all with me? Hit the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, welcome. I'm Suzette Speaks. I hope you guys are having a great evening. Again, it's a little late, not too late. Wanted to kind of get everybody in here, and hopefully you got a chance to hit the like button already. And then I'm going to bring him up. Let me just welcome a few people. What up, my moderator, RM? Nice to see you. Hit the like button. She says, good evening, says Miss AKA Lady. Girl, I have a great picture of you from the brunch. I'm going to send it to you on IG, girl. You look so good. I'm going to make sure you get it. Nice to see you. Easy gospel piano lessons. It's a fantastic evening to be streaming. I'm grateful that all of you are here. I'm excited about the topic still. I am a student of relationships, so that hopefully when I get the opportunity, I'm making the best decisions possible. Let's just remember, none of us is perfect, y'all. As we talk about them, as we kind of use them as a case study, none of us is perfect. So we're going to tread with a sense of a positive intent. Although, like I said, sometimes it kind of gets heavy when you're talking about, behaviors where it seems toxic. We're just going to put it out there. So let me welcome a couple more and let me bring up my special guests. Are y'all with me? Hit the like button. What's up? Facts and the Uncomfortable Truth with Bernard S. Good evening. Nice to see you. Are you liking the blue? I felt like I was giving a little 70s cover girl. I didn't know if the hoops was going to work. I was like, okay, let's go. Foxy Brown, let's do it. Sometimes you got to pump yourself up. What up? Thank you. Hey, my fellow lady lawyer, Quita G is in the building. Nice to see you. Hey, Andrew, how are you? 5 snaps and an E for me. Y'all so funny. Put your location in the chat. If you're watching on Facebook on the Suzette Speaks pages, welcome. Again, I have a gentleman who has not been on my network. I call him network now. He made me feel like I got to step up and call it the Suzette Speaks network. It's just a Suzette Speaks show, y'all. But hit the like button as you come in, though. Black Man Unfiltered, awesome guy, says Michael Richardson. Thank you for coming over and supporting. Thank you so much. Ace Butterfly in the building. Great to see you. Hello to you, my darling. And who else? I see Needs Watch It. First of all, Needs Watches and me was having a whole conversation by ourselves in the lead attorney's show chat yesterday. I didn't know you were a connoisseur of UK rap and drill and Fire in the Booth and my boy Wretch Free 2 and Avelino and all of that. Me and These Watches was literally having a moment while TLA was talking about the best rapper, Tupac. We was like, yo, you can't forget the English blokes. And there's more too. There's so many people talented around the world of the African diaspora. So anyway, big up to These Watches. We have a very similar taste in UK rap. I love it. Yes, he's talking about, yes, we did. We had a whole conversation by ourselves. Excited to see you, Mr. DL Saint in the building. You know, we might have to drop the link because, you know, Mr. DL Saint come through with some great insight. Nice to see you, my brother. Welcome always to the Suzette Speaks show. Yes, network. Miss AK lady says, speaking of Twigs, you know what? I might as well go ahead and buy that. Right? Let's go. Them UK boys, what you know about it? Yay, Brown Gal Peace Lounge. She says, hey, at Suzette Speaks, I finally caught one of your live. Yes, glad you are here. Millionaire Portfolio. Shalita Shante is in the building. She was one of my guests in a stream, probably maybe 2 months ago now. Nice to see you. Nice to see you doing your thing here on YouTube, girl. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you. All right. So I'm excited. Yes, Ace Butterfly says Black Man Unfiltered is funny. I like the networking with the fellow Black YouTubers. That's what we try to do in this space. Like I said, everybody we see that's trying to be positive and push forward, we always want to try to welcome them. Like I said, I'm big on collaboration. Wednesday, I think she's confirmed. Wednesday, it probably will be around 8:30 or so. I hate telling y'all times and then I don't really got it down. But at 8:30 or so, I saw this lady on Instagram that calls herself the soul tie coach. So we're going to talk soul ties because I think the Will and Jada story really talks about, or at least shines a light on the power of soul ties. And I don't know if you believe in that, etc. But I'm going to have her break it all the way down because she's a whole coach on soul ties. And then Saturdays, I always go live around 12 noon Eastern. I will be having Maya Auguste. I think it's she's Haitian American. I think Auguste. Auguste. We're not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be on Saturday at 12. She wrote a new book. Can't wait to get into it with her. Y'all ready for a good show? I am. I'm ready. Yay, join my Patreon. Thank you, RM. If you like exclusive content or want to get exclusive content, not on YouTube. Cool conversations, a little bit more about me and my life in these streets, in the Miami streets. Just kind of, background of personal development that I really enjoy. I try to bring speakers. We just had a good one last Saturday. Miss Frankie Red joined us on Patreon for an exclusive show. It was chasing passion, how to use your passion to market your business, leading to money. She kind of gave us a good 1 hour. It was a prepared speech, y'all. It was so good. So if you like personal development, check me out on Patreon, please. That's what it's about. XDMC and the building, positive networking. That's what we're trying to do over here. Oh, the architect. Yes, y'all want to go back? The architect might come up tonight. What's up? If she's in the building. The Miss Creative. Hey, beautiful. How you doing? Nice to see you. He's in the chat too. Y'all ready for my special guest? Soul ties are real. Yes, those bonds are hard. Trust me. I can't even get into my personal business. Ladies, you ever had a soul tie? Men, you ever had a soul tie? A person that you could not get out of your system? Girl, no, girl, Miss Creative. I'm glad. Thank you for the compliment, baby. When I get on, I'm just gonna, all right, I've been working out, right? But I'm about to start me a weight loss food plan. Baby, they're not ready for me. They're not ready for me. I'm so ready and focused. Give me 2 months, sis. Give me 2 months. We're going to try to be our best selves. We're not just talking about it here. Help us, oh God, in every way, relationships included, to be better. That's what we're about here at the SuzetteSpeaks Show. Y'all hit the like button. All right. Hi at Black Man Unfiltered Network. Drop his, would you please RM his channel in the chat. I want y'all to go over and support. Check him out. Check him out. He is a great content creator and he don't hold anything back. You've been warned. Are you ready? Okay, without further ado, for the first time, what the Suzette Speaks Show. Welcome my special guest for the night, none other than content creator extraordinaire, Black Man Unfiltered Network. What it do? How are you?
I am good. That was an amazing intro. I need to come over here more often. I like that.
You got me feeling good, my brother. I connected with him. He said yes. I was like, oh, we both got on blue.
You know what I'm
like
saying? I didn't even call. Yeah, we didn't even coordinate this. It's just, you know, I mean, I don't know what's going on tonight. What's going on?
It's a vibe. The background matches my background. Let's go. We fireside chatting with none other than guest YouTuber, as I said, Black Man Unfiltered. This one will be good, y'all. Hit the like button. Please stick around and show some love. So before we get into it, sir, would you mind just telling us about your channel and what you do on your channel?
Absolutely. So on my channel, we have a lot of fun. Black Men Unfiltered Network. If you haven't been there, please go there and subscribe over there. You'll have some fun. We have moments where we bump heads. We have moments. It's completely unfiltered, guys. We don't shut anybody down. We don't mute anybody. Everybody has a voice over at Black Men Unfiltered Network. And so tomorrow, guys, if you're not too busy, tomorrow at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, we will be talking about, I'll have a panel for the Black women. I'll also have SuzetteSpeaks as my co-host.
Oh, he coming on?
Yes, yeah, he will be my co-host. So we'll be asking the questions together, but we'll have a whole show about discussing Black women with Black women. And we'll have them
tomorrow night, y'all, on his channel, y'all. I'm gonna be over there. Come and support. Especially you've got these two brothers over there, these fine brothers over there doing some work. Black women talking about Black women. I'm excited. Tomorrow,
yes,
9 Central. Thank you for saying that, because you know I've been showed up at 9 Eastern.
Yeah,
come on, too.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm excited, my brother. Thank you for being here. They are in love with your backdrop, first and foremost. Let me get a wide shot so y'all can
appreciate it.
The beauty and the coordination.
Absolutely. I appreciate
this gentleman. Woo, I love it. Yes, we all tired of the fluffy life, girl. It's the pandemic, girl. We getting back into it. Niece Watches says, okay, I see the guitar in the background. Y'all saw it. Let me give one more close up. Yes.
Bam, there it is.
It's fantastic. I love it. I'm like, wow. Miss AKA a lady also commented, love the setup. Andrew says it very cozy. Listen, it's very inviting. I'm ecstatic, very impressed. Black Man Filter, he has a barbershop talk. So I did drop it in the comment, but tell us what days and what kind of talk you do in terms of the conversations you're having.
So on barbershop talk, we have guys that come in and they're able to, like I said, be unfiltered on Friday. No ladies. Now we do have a segment in the barbershop called the Lion's Den, where we allow the ladies to come in and express their feelings about what they've heard in the barbershop about women and what men have said or how men look at things. And so we even had a show a few weeks ago about Black men who suffer in silence. And we talked about the ratio of how men delete themselves at a higher rate than women do. And so we have men in there in tears talking about the relationship with their fathers, their children, want to be in their children's lives, want to have their wives back. They lost their family members. They lost themselves. And so we have fun. We joke. It's just like a regular barbershop. We have fun. We joke around, but we have serious conversations at the end of the day. We do that on every Friday. I have Talk Tuesday on Tuesdays, where we have a panel, which will be like tomorrow, of course, that you'll be on. And then on Wednesday, I have a sports show. I have 2 guys doing a sports show at 7. And at 8:30, we have Unapologetic with Mandrell on Wednesday night. So
wow, busy like me. I'm trying to be like you, Bill.
Yeah, we
I'm like loving it. The schedule, I was gonna say, big bro, I want to get there. I was on it, and I'm just trying to connect with, just after life happens. Sometimes you got to regroup, and here we go again. So
Right.
nice. Tuesdays tomorrow, y'all. I'm gonna share it on my community tab. I'll be over on his channel, 9 Central, 8 Eastern, for a ladies roundtable with him and Sir Hale Speaks. I can't wait. Andrew talking about I'm bringing the popcorn and the hot sauce. Thank you. See y'all tomorrow night on his channel. Wednesday back on mine. XEMC says Unfiltered Network showed up to Suzette Speaks with a hairline fresh and yes.
Oh man, come on now.
I saw it. I wasn't gonna try to call my brother out, but you are fresh to death. That fresh.
No, I appreciate it. Bam, bam.
Set aside. Shut us.
No.
Love a well-groomed man. Yes.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
And represent well. Greetings, says Bryant. Thank you for being here. DL saying thank you. Says just subscribe to your channel, brother. I'll definitely check you out. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Collaborating and holding each other up, and hopefully pushing one another to greatness. The brother talks his way into anything. Respect the vocal tone. Okay, this brother can do voiceover. Yes,
I have done vocal. I have done. Everybody likes when I do the Maya Angelou and the and Bolo.
You can do voice impressions.
I do Bolo a lot. People love the Bolo, but yeah.
What? I love it. RM said that line up sounds dope. All the shows that you just announced, so y'all check them out, specifically Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Barbershop Friday. I definitely think I'm gonna, here goes Snuggles. Somebody dropped the link. We just getting started, Snuggles. You can't get in the conversation yet. But Miss AKA Lady says, LOL, you better show that fresh haircut on. Why not?
Appreciate you.
We got the brothers represented tonight, y'all. Black Man Unfiltered here. Go check out his channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe and the notification of both our channels if you just passing through. So we are talking lessons from Will and Jada. There was so much. I started a show Saturday. I had to tell people I had to go. I had an appointment. They were like, we were bubbling, and it was just still a lot more to say. I had a fantastic panel. Big up Michonne Denise, DL Saint, Kinardoc, Before the Billions. Who else came through? I feel like I'm missing a couple people. Kareen. There were so many great people Saturday. So if you didn't see that show, about 500 views. So y'all go back and watch that show that we just had. So I promised on that show that I would have a part 2. I thought I would have time yesterday. I was so tired. So I thought this is even better. I have company to come help me do some unpacking. So Black Man Unfiltered is here, y'all. I am going to throw out some thoughts. Right. And sir, we could just
now what you want to now listen, I know we discussed that video. Now, do you want to watch that first and then discuss?
Okay, yeah. So mention what you told me. Yes. Go ahead and set that up. It's a good way to start. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So last Tuesday, guys, if you didn't get a chance to watch it and you're not subscribed to Black Men Unfiltered Network, please go. Last Tuesday, we had a show called Dear Jezebel, a letter to Jada and women like her. And on that panel, we had TJ Randolph, we had Unsolicited Security Boss, we had the Book of Genesis, we had I Am Courtney Michelle, we had a full cast of women in there, and we had a few men in there that discussed the Jezebel spirit over Jada. And I put a video collaboration together that described what it looks like, and I put a pastor in there that's actually speaking the word, and then I tie that to what her activity and what her behavior looks like. So I have it. So whenever you're ready.
The Jezebel spirit. Oh my gosh. We done got real, what does that sound like? Sunday morning, super spiritual.
Yes, Sister Jada.
If we don't, we're assuming a lot of us culturally probably grew up in and around church, knows a little something. But for someone who may not have grown up in church, did not go to church as a young person, can you just define? It's hard to define, but give us an idea of what you're talking about when you say Jezebel spirit, because I think there's so much attached to that word if you grew up in church.
Right.
But yeah, so if you didn't and you're lost, what does Jezebel spirit mean?
The Jezebel spirit in the Bible, if you go read it in the Bible, because I don't want to be a preacher tonight. I'll put my preacher voice on. In the Bible, it says, but I'm not going to do that to you tonight. But I didn't want you to go read about Jezebel yourself. However, Jezebel is a woman that seeks power. She's hungry for it, right? And then she leads men to their deaths, right?
My Lord.
That's what she does.
In the Bible. So this is kind of like an allegory or a story that's told.
Absolutely.
That talks about a real woman in the Bible named Jezebel.
Yes.
And in that story, the outcome or the lesson is that this woman is leading men to their death, and as a power seeker, you say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you look in the scriptures, it gives definition in the scriptures of what that is and what that looks like. And like I said, you know, we don't want to take everybody to church in this Bible study tonight.
Yeah.
However, if
First
you look,
Corinthians, no, just kidding.
right. If you look at the scripture, it defines what she is and what she does. Right. So she is a woman that is just wants the power. She don't care about anything. She's a woman that consumes her children. Nothing matters but her. Right.
So I think you should go ahead and play it now that we have a little bit of context about what that biblical reference means. And y'all can go look up that story and read it. I had not, in my own mind, made comparisons as far as the behavior or the outward behavior that we know about of Jada Pinkett Smith, and kind of comparing that to a Jezebel spirit. So I'm really interested in what you've said in your stream. So shout out to everybody watching. Hit the like button, y'all. Black Man Unfiltered here did his own stream about this situation, lessons from Will and Jada, as I spoke about. It's, again, a very still kind of bubbling topic where folks are interested in why. Why would a almost tens of millionaire man who seems to have it all, seem to have this type of relationship that indicates some level, and it can be from both parties. I'm not going to say just Jada, but a toxicity between, imbalance between, incompatibility between he and Jada in such a major way. It has caught our attention, has captivated us in terms of the general public. They've put a lot out about their relationship. Some stuff has trickled out recently. There are videos, y'all know, the big Oscar slap. That's what really brought this on, where their relationship was under a microscope yet again. So when we talk about it again with as much sensitivities as we can, there's some lessons to be learned. So all opinions here are not necessarily mine, and I'm just going to leave it open because, again, his name is Black Man Unfiltered. So we're going to keep it unfiltered. So with that set up, sir, let's go. So you want to go ahead and
share it at the bottom. Make sure you share the audio
yes,
with
okay.
it.
So I'm gonna remove us and just share this, or how I do that?
Yeah, you can. Well, you don't have to, because once I hit it, it'll probably remove us anyway. Well, there it is. You can remove us, or you can leave it.
I'm gonna remove us for a second.
You don't know who Jezebel is? Jezebel is literally a replica of the enemy himself. Because Jezebel is a beast. She literally kills children and sacrifices.
So I'm just gonna pause it for fair use because I don't want to get flagged. You know, the algorithm will pick it up. So we're watching a clip that was used last week on a show by Black Man Unfiltered, my guest. And he is referring to the clip, so we thought it'd be good to watch it. Now, and again, fair use, fair use, fair use. Go ahead,
when
sir.
it comes to fair use, I created this video, and I didn't get any strikes or anything like that. So the video's good. So if they come up with anything like that, I will definitely not strike you for it, because I created this whole video myself. So.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. I'm always the lawyer in me. Okay, 1 second. Okay. All right, back to the video.
All right.
Jezebel comes to destroy her children.
His children for cultural idols. She literally is the definition of evil. She hides out in the background and you don't even know that it's her. But all of her outcomes are the main character in your life. Her job is to kill godliness. And the way that she kills godliness is a personal strike on you.
different manner. I would
During that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
That hurt me. So I'm just going to stop for a quick second just to give a quick reference. If you guys don't know when that part of the clip comes from, that is when Will Smith sat down at the Red Table on his wife's show, The Red Table Talk, and he was referring to her entanglement with musician August Alsina, and she is referring to what, he asked her why, what did you feel you were missing? And she says she wanted to feel love because she had not felt it in such a long time. With a straight face, that stare is pure, like, ice in her eyes. It hurt me. It hurt me. And look at his face. Look at his face. I just want to reference it because I don't want to assume everybody knows what we're watching.
Yeah, that's hurtful for a man to sit in front of his wife, and his wife says, "I've been with you for over 15 years or 16 years, whatever, close to 20." And she's saying, I just wanted to feel good. I want to feel good, and I haven't felt good in a long time. He's sitting there like, damn, what was I here for?
Exactly. That hurts. That's okay. We're gonna get into it after the video, y'all. I just want to keep going. Sorry.
Husband, I got to be with you at the press conference while you to tell the world about your transgressions. Like, I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
No.
Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking...
Okay. Wow. It was the unfiltered version. Thank you for sharing that video with me. Again,
Absolutely.
This is from content on Black Man Unfiltered Network. He did a show about the Jezebel spirit, making comparisons of the biblical references of Jezebel to what he believes. I'm not putting words in your mouth. You're going to explain what y'all talked about, but is being demonstrated, has been demonstrated over the years by one Jada Pinkett Smith. Not my opinions. My guest here has broken this down. So an evil woman is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hold of her is as though he's held by a scorpion. Ecclesiastes 7:2. All right, we done got Bible on y'all. Y'all come in, y'all say hello. Thank you for watching. This is the Suzette Speaks show. A special guest tonight. I want to welcome you. This is guest YouTuber, content creator extraordinaire, Mr. Black Man Unfiltered Network. He keeps it 100. He did a show, like I said, about Jada Pinkett Smith being akin to a Jezebel spirit, as what we just watched from his channel. That was a clip from his channel, so we could get an understanding of what his point of reference is. All right, sir. So break that down for me. That was intense.
It was. And in particular, like I said, I'm not going to take everybody to church. That's not what I want to do. However, we referenced it because if you go back and listen to Jada's music, everybody does. I don't know if people remember, she had a rock band.
Yes. What's it called?
Wicked something.
Wicked Wisdom.
Wicked. There you go, Suzette. You got it. And so, Wicked Wisdom. And they talked in that music about. She said her lyrics that she wrote. She said, "There's things inside of my head, things that gives me. I feed off control. I feed off power."
First of all, excuse me for interrupting. Who else was freaked out when Jada Pinkett Smith came out with that rock band? I'm not even gonna lie.
I was.
My smooth, be more homegirl, different world, actress, set it off chick. When she came out with that rock band, I can remember being appalled and kind of taken aback. When she was yelling in that microphone like a dragon.
Yeah.
Y'all remember when she came out with them two little things on her head? Talking about that was her. And
Yeah.
I was like, wait, do I not know Jada Pinkett Smith? Like, maybe I don't know her. Maybe, again, her public persona is quite different from who she is as a person. Again, I leave room for that. But I
Right.
didn't have the concept of her as that rock steady. And I got some super chats I'm going to read. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just want to throw
No,
that
no,
in
no.
there because that rock band threw me off. Like, I was like, who
Exactly.
is this person? But go ahead. Sorry.
I think it threw everybody out because Jada in her art, when she's acting, you look at her like she's America's sweetheart. She's so pretty, she's so sweet, she's so small, like she's so beautiful.
Petite,
Yeah,
light
petite,
skin,
light,
very,
yeah,
yeah.
all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so, and then we come up with a then she comes out with this band, they're doing all the symbols, and the music is saying that she loves power. She like the things inside of her head tell her to do certain things. She does them. Like if you go read the actual lyrics of her music, it's very demonic. And then on her music, on her album covers, there are serpents, right? And we know this what the serpent did. The serpent went to Eve first, and then Eve convinced Adam that he could have the power, but she was really in it for herself. So, I mean, a lot of things you could connect to it, but that's neither here nor there. I want to talk directly about what happened. If you went out, Jada, and cheated on your husband, could you have at least cheated on him with somebody he didn't know? Because she's been knowing August since he was a child.
Is that true?
That is absolutely 100%. She's been knowing it. Jada, their son, has been
Jaden.
knowing Og for a long time.
I did not know
Since
that.
they were 13, 14, 15-year-old kids. And so that gives me in my mind, I'm like, wow, wait, Jada. Wait, Jada. Have you been watching this kid since he was a kid? Because August said that he needed healing. He had a mental breakdown. He went to the Smith mansion to ease himself because they have so many things you can do there to breathe and concentrate and meditate. And Jada said, yeah, you gonna meditate.
Lord have mercy. Hold on. Hold that thought. Miss AKA Lady on the super chat. Thank you for that gift. So generous of you, sis. Appreciate you watching. No comment, just love. Thank you so much for hitting me with the $9.99. Okay, so they went over there to
Yeah, I mean, and then he
meditate and he's Gregory adds, this has become an educational study for young men. Go ahead, sir.
Absolutely. He's correct. He is correct. Because what we have to understand is that how far will you go to lower your man? How far will you go to crush your husband? How does that look when you go to your man and say, hey, listen, I slept with somebody. And he's like, okay, who was it? Jaden's best friend, Og. You talk about, no. Wait. You're not talking about Og, the one we used to give ice cream to when he was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. That's the same guy? Yes, I slept with him. Yep, I slept with him. But I also say in my head, what would have happened if that was the tables were turned and Will slept with Willow's friend?
Terrible.
He would be dragged through the streets. His career would be at a halt. And I think that Jada put that battery in his back and allowed him to do that.
It's painful. I did not know they had history with that young man, August Alsina. I didn't know that. Shout out to DL saying, talking about get your soundboard. It's coming, bruh. Do not worry, but appreciate you giving and putting something on there. Thank you very much. He said he got to keep up with Miss AKA Lady. Thank you so much. Always being so generous here. So, yeah. So, I never watched the Red Table Talk when they did the face-to-face. I didn't watch it. Describe it for people who may have not seen that.
Will, you could tell, because a lot of people say Will knew before the table talk. He probably did. And if Will did know about that and they had an open marriage or whatever their situation was, I don't think he wanted that to be public. And then when you get on TV and you say, I slept with Og, I had an entanglement, that broke Will. And you can look in Will's face and see that his eyes are red. You can see that he was going through some emotions. Something was going on up here. And you could tell that he was breaking down, and he tried to laugh it off. He tried to talk it off, but he couldn't.
Right.
And everybody saw the hurt. So I think, Jada has been doing this for a while. Even the comments she said about him being, his sex is not really that good in the bedroom.
She said that publicly, allegedly? Where?
Yes. The Red Table Talk, guys, that she's using that Red Table Talk to destroy him. I'm
That very
convinced.
much. Again. All right, we're gonna get some comments in. Let me pause you real quick. Tam, nice to see you. Says I don't see nothing wrong with that comment. He asked, and the truth hurts. Wow. I don't know if I agree with you.
I don't either.
I don't think it's a duty of a wife to use the most to use honesty as a
A weapon.
justification
Mm-hmm.
for cutting a man, not your husband.
Yeah.
And I think on camera, in front of the world, makes it even more something that behind closed doors, you and him by yourselves is one matter. But once you come in front of the public view to say any old thing out your mouth as if y'all in a therapy session, I don't think that's appropriate. I think you got to protect your husband. I don't think you. That's my opinion. If they're in private, maybe, but I don't think that's something you do in public to try to tear down. RM says, with a wife like this who needs a prison rival with the shank.
Right.
Ace Butterfly, good point. I think the Scientology has really taken a toll on Will and Jada. Why is his older son normal? That is from the first wife, from Charisse.
He's with his first wife. And see, I mean, the boy, the son is with his wife. So he's not around all that toxicity.
And different moral code, let's call it that.
Right. And even when even when Willow did a photo shoot in bed with a 20-year-old man and she was 13. I mean, and Jada was asked about it. She said, oh, they're friends. If you have a 13-year-old daughter, it's okay for your daughter to be friends with a 20-year-old man, and he's in the bed shirtless with his underwear on and she's laying across the bed?
Yeah, that's that Holly weird. That's what I know. We talked about it a little bit of Saturday. Shout out to Kennard Act. Talking, one of my wonderful viewers was just talking about, he lives on the West Coast. He's an actor. He's given Hollywood tours. He knows so much about that. And he said there's so much symbolism to. He did not outwardly, say that it was probably set up, but he said the way Hollywood works, you'd be surprised what they would do to stay relevant and to kind of keep your eyes glued on them and their awards and all the things that they want to bring, I guess, to the public as far as themes about Black people and themes about other things. Interesting. Jada seems difficult to please, says Miss AKA Lady. When Will has gone out of his way to please her, she called it a display of arrogance. Like, yeah, the birthday party. Was it the 40th birthday? Can you explain what happened for those who may not have been following the story? Yes, Proverbs 21:9 says, Vaughn. Hey, Andre, nice to see you. Doug in the building. Reese from Philly in the building. The Red Dragon in the building. Tam adds, but she has always been on the other side, but you haven't been. Really? I guess I haven't.
Yeah,
I didn't really think. Yeah, that grunge had me like, what? Tam said that was acting? Okay. I didn't know what it was. Adele Saint says, I saw her live in LA. It's Hollywood 100%. Just another day. Yeah, I don't know. It threw me off. I remember when it came out. Ace says, Will is a grown man. He should not have gotten involved with Jada. If they had a different belief system, his grandma didn't want him to join in the Scientology. So we're going to talk about unevenly yoked as well. Just incompatible. Yeah. I didn't know this. Quincy Jones slept with his daughter's friends. I didn't know this. Like, I thought, is this true? I didn't know this. Allegedly, I didn't know this. You heard this before?
I knew Quincy. I knew about some other stuff with Quincy Jones, but
Wow. My heart is hurting. Not sure about that. She was possibly grooming August. I don't know about that yet. Dale asked, was he a minor? I don't want to get into it like this. That is very disturbing. Yeah, this is very disturbing. Stefan pushes back. August wasn't that young when he met Jaden. I don't know. I am not sure of those facts. What say you, sir? Again, he was probably in his teens.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if somebody
being recorded,
yeah. So,
Stefan, let me know where you get your source from. He says August was 21 or 22. Okay. We're not gonna go back and forth, but let me know where you get your source from.
No. If that's what it is, okay, that's fine. I just want even if that's the case,
Mm-hmm.
even if the information is wrong about him being a teen, you
Mm-hmm.
still don't sleep with your son's friend. Like,
Yes.
what woman does that? Like,
Yeah, it's still her son's friend at the end of the day, and he's
gosh,
far younger than her, and it's
yeah,
someone that was in their circle. So even if it wasn't a friend that grew up from teenagehood to adult men,
right,
it's still very disturbing. However you want to cut it, it's your husband, and this is someone in y'all's circle. This reminds me of like even like the Bobby Christina with her
hmm,
play cousin and
yeah, her god brother,
God,
yeah,
brother, now they
yeah,
dating. Everything about that always made me, it didn't sit right with me. I said, Lord, I don't know these people. I don't want to judge these people, but oh, I felt that was such a take advantage of moment. And I just thought it was boundaries were blurred and crossed.
right.
Um, yeah. Right. Stefan, okay, educated Tyrone. He was like 23 around that time. Okay. Even if that's the given or possibility. That's not a good thing. There is absolutely no justifiable reason for a wife to be on public platforms explaining why she was blanking with another man. That should never have been a thing. I totally agree. Thank you. Andrew on the super chat says, I jumped when I saw the signs.
Mm.
She's cruel. One day, the bottom I go dropo. That's the patois
Right,
version of
right.
that. That means you're going Let's be gonna feel it. That woman is jealous of his success and upset that she cannot be the publicly favored one. Whoa, in the relationship. Well, let me digest that. Wow. You think that's personally
Yeah,
what?
I
Ooh,
mean,
that I never thought of that.
I watch
He
a lot of other.
knows that he is sensitive. What say you, sir?
Yeah, I think a lot of streams I've watched, just sitting back watching as a fan of other content creators, that has come up a lot about her being jealous, and a lot of people found pictures of when they're out somewhere and he's being rewarded, or something about him. He's always got his hands out, like presenting her like it's her night. You know, she wants to make sure that she's the talk of the town, and she really doesn't have. I think the jealousy comes in because she wants to be her own independent woman, and we know that she didn't want to marry Will,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, we
she didn't want to
discussed that.
marry him, but she wanted her own career, and I think that she did a lot of acting, but it wasn't on the level of her husband.
You
Eh,
think that's why she went to the grunge band and trying to get a name for herself too?
Yep,
Or just expression. I didn't know what that was. I honestly didn't understand it. And again, we don't know people. We know the public version of them.
exactly.
So I was a little bit perturbed and I didn't know what was going on. Great points. I did not watch a lot of other people's streams. I watched TLA's last
Right.
night. TLA had me. First of all, the chat. TLA was talking about why Will, the lead attorney, was talking about why Will won't leave. Some interesting points
Yeah,
behind
I
it.
watched it.
You think some of those main points that TLA brought up was valid, that he doesn't think he can do as a 50-year-old better, or there's too much invested till now that he don't want to go nowhere?
Yeah, he's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will is comfortable.
Uncomfortably comfortable.
Yep.
Jesus.
He knows if I go somewhere now, I got to start over. I'm 50. If I invest 5 years into another woman, I'm 55. I won't be as good as I am now. And then in 5 years, she may want to get married. You know, she may want kids. I'll be 60 after that. I mean, he's thinking about in a few years, he'll be 60.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm already here with her now. So I might as well just stay.
Salute to the chat. Big up Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Great points made last night. I watched it for as long as I could. And then TLA started talking about smooth cat and whatnot. And then women over 40. I was like, I'm going to stop watching
Uncle
it.
Stu.
This is TLA go too far sometimes. I was like, I can't watch this. I can't internalize any of what you're saying. We are here doing some deep diving into the public discourse around Will and Jada Smith and what lessons we can learn about toxicity, when to let go, why we don't let go, what are the warning signs, those blinking signs that we often ignore. When you think about him,
Guys, if y'all see that in the back, that's real sweet. I just want to show y'all that. My son just Alexa'd me in the back. He said, "Everybody, I love you. Good night, Daddy." You see that back there?
That's
He
so
just sent
cool.
it to me
So
in
the
the
fireplace was just a picture?
Yes, it's just a
I
screen.
thought it was a real fireplace.
No, it's not. It's not. It's an illusion.
Yo!
But my son sent me that in the middle of a stream. But I love you too, son.
That's
Oh my
fantastic. I
goodness.
was fooled. Y'all was fooled too. I thought that was a real fireplace. I love it. Well, you got a wonderful setup there, sir. Excellent. Y'all come in. Welcome. Suzette Speaks. Sitting and chatting, just having a light stream, talking about lessons from Will and Jada with the one and only Black Man Unfiltered Network. He has a fantastic channel. Y'all, please go over to his channel. Check him out. See what he has to say. He keeps it interesting. Fridays, barbershop talk, right? Talk Yo Talk Tuesdays. He has a couple great shows and podcasts that he does. So, and he does like keep it unfiltered. If y'all want to show some love, there's a Cash App. Appreciate y'all. And of course, I have my Patreon going. So please support if you can. And thanks to everyone who's already supported this stream. Andrew, I think you are the sponsor of the stream. Thank you very much. So let's see what else the folks have to say. I'm going to drop the link to y'all and see if y'all want to come on up and give us a little bit of your background. Thank you. Before the Billions did a great job.
Before the Billions, how you doing,
Killing
man?
it
That's
on
my guy.
Saturday. Came through, was giving me nuggets. Again, I have not studied their relationship as deeply as some, and I've missed some of these. I'm gonna drop the link, y'all. Y'all can come on up. But it frightened me to the extent to which, you know, you really can't ignore it. At first, I was like, well, you know, things can be different for different people, different
And it
couples.
just eats at you. It just eats at
Yes,
you.
but then I was
Just,
like,
it,
ooh,
it
that's
won't-
gonna, oh, that's a violation. Ooh, that ain't right. Ooh, that's so a little bit more about your comparison on your show last week with the Jezebel spirit.
Mhm.
Y'all came to that conclusion because she's power seeking, destructive. Give me some other examples that we haven't spoke about. Where you see in past behaviors, public behaviors, again, we don't know their lives in closing,
Right,
you know, closed doors, behind closed doors, excuse me. But what would you say also gives you that sense that she is a representation of the Jezebel spirit?
Right. Well, even what she said 2 days ago. When you have a man that jumped up on stage and is willing to risk it all for people to say he's protecting you, which I didn't agree with that. I don't think he was protecting her because her life was not in danger. Chris Rock said a joke. Chris Rock is damn near almost to his AARP card. So he's like 56, 57. And so when you slap this man and then a few days later, your wife comes out and says, I don't need protection. I'm my own woman. Right. I didn't need that. I mean, I'm sorry Will did that to him, but I'm not asking for that. That's not what I need. And so when you have a
Like
woman
she doesn't back him up
at all,
when he really needs it. I'd
mm-mm,
be like, you know, if you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. Like, if you really don't, I mean, publicly, again, that I think is a problem a lot
mhm,
of times that we hear being talked about in men's spaces. I guess we can't say manosphere anymore, men's spaces,
right.
which is this idea that truth telling trumps discretion and being a covering, especially in public when it comes to your man. And I think a lot of people don't understand how injurious that is to a man or a woman to be embarrassed, to not be backed up. I could disagree with you, but I'm not going to be in public like to my husband.
Right.
To my husband.
And most women like yourself, Suzette, would have said if you
I
were
would have gave
married
you one
to
of
Will,
these.
yeah, you would have if Will would have got up to go hit somebody, you would have probably grabbed his arm like, babe,
Yes.
oh no, come on
Or
now.
at least when he got back down, should have been a grip. It should have been like a, babe, what's
Right,
up? Are you okay?
right.
Yeah, and then I saw the film, Michonne Denise brought it up where she like, hi, like at the joke when Chris said, I just got, you know, he just slapped a beep out of me. And she kind of laughed, but it was weirdly awkward. And
Mm-hmm.
even when he was cussing, you got to be able, that said a lot about their relationship. You got to be able to touch, hold the hand of, touch the shoulder of your man.
Yep.
It makes me cringe when I see women cannot, what should I say? The word is really not intercede, but I've seen women like when if a man gets a little tipsy and drinks a little bit much, and you ever seen these wives where they can't say nothing to their husband louder and louder and going in different direction. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, ooh, cringe, everybody's uncomfortable, but you can't tap your husband and be like, babe, bring it back, babe.
Right.
No, it's indicative of a lot of kind of what their relationship, how it's functioning. I was gonna say how it's built, but how it's functioning. That one cannot kind of interrupt bad behavior, interrupt something that's very destructive and say, boo, what was that? Boo, no, it's okay. Ha. Or pick his hand and let's go. Let's go.
Mhm.
You need a time to relax and kind of,
Breathe. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
And even
It's hindsight is 2020, so I don't like to say what she should have done.
right.
But in looking back, we have the luxury of saying, wow, there's a lot of ways that can be handled. It seems so out of character. But do you think this is going back to the power, as you stated,
Mhm.
and that dynamic? You were giving some examples of what you've seen in the statement that she made.
It's like, yeah, it's like it's draining him. Like she's really spiritually, mentally, and physically draining him. And I don't know if you saw the video that was released from 2 years ago when they were in the house and she just started videoing him. He was like, "Stop videoing me. I don't want to be on. Don't video me without my permission, please." And I mean, his eyes. I mean, it just looked like he wasn't
Yes.
himself. And
Yes.
it's just like, and she's like, "Oh, I'm still dealing with this ignorance here." And he's like, "All I'm asking is just don't video me." You know,
That
and
was a rough video to watch.
it was.
Because however it got out, that's my question. How
How did it leak?
how did it even get out? Like, who did you send it to? Assuming, did someone tap their phone
Or
to
she could have done it to embarrass him. I mean, look at all this stuff she's done so far. The birthday party. You embarrassed him at the birthday party, right? He planned for
Yeah.
3 years. A man. Suzette, if your man plans a 3-year birthday party for you and you go to it and she says, "I don't want this. I'm cancel everything. I don't want it."
There's so much there. There's some DL in the back. I'll bring you up in a second. Let me get some of the chat out. I see you. Everyone's busy. Drop your comments, guys. I'll pick up a few. Ace Butterfly said, "I don't think Jada cares how she is perceived." RM says, "Indeed, Denzel doesn't need to do that to Pauletta." And I know
Nope.
Denzel has not been perfect. Come on now. Denzel not going to be perfect. I mean, when he was at his heyday, oh boy, I bet it was very
Yeah.
difficult probably for him to stay
Yeah, he
faithful. But Pauletta went in out there. My man don't do this. My man is that.
right.
No, let me say, let me see. Ace adds, Jada wants to keep active. The quality of her work doesn't matter. She just wants to keep busy. Interesting. Let me skip down a little bit. No, we're not talking. This is TLA's reference. Miss AKA says, look, being alone is better than what they have shown us. A lot of people
Mhm.
feel that way. Hey, Big Bad Bull, glad you're here. Good
Big Bad
evening.
Bull. What's going on, man?
Welcome. Having a little late night streaming here with my brother in this space, Black Man Unfiltered Network. Yes, it's just so much going on that makes my heart hurt and heavy. Yeah, I felt the heat from those flames in the background. I'm a little behind, y'all. Okay, I hear you, Brenda. Brenda says, Etam, I see now where you're coming from. However, when it comes to, quote, being a human statement, you are not wanting to account for their actions having an equal or opposite reaction or consequence. It's a very tough space to be in because, again, none of us are perfect. I want to be very clear. So when trying to assess other people's behaviors, I always try to do it very, very, with an intention of positivity and not just scrutiny to the point where it's like, again, you are not perfect. But I
Right.
hear you. There's a fine line between that and accountability. Vaughn Bryant says she is manipulative. Yes, the Miss Creative. I did a whole thing about the slap looking
Scripted.
Miss AKA Lady adds, I love to support Black women. It sucks when we can't stand with one. Jada doesn't leave much space for support. Well said. The Miss Creative said Holly Weird does some weird things. Y'all hit the like button. I'm gonna bring up DL Saint. And again, we're talking toxic relationships. If you've ever been in one, if you want to share, if you've seen, the saga unfold for some years now. Again, I have not watched a relationship as closely as some of you. If you want to comment on it and what lessons we can learn as far as being able to quickly, that's the thing, quickly identify. I have a friend girl now. The dude is keeping her in kind of like secret. And I thought to myself, no, boo, no. Red flag. That's what I can tell her.
Wow.
And I'm like, you on vacation, but you pay for you and he pay for you. That ain't no relationship.
Wow.
Like, there's so many people dealing with things in secret that no one really wants to put out there. And I get it. It's sensitive stuff. You don't want to be made a fool of. You feel as if, you're giving your heart to somebody and the response is like trample, trample, trample. It's the hardest thing, especially for guys. Women get it, too. But the amount of rejection men get is hard. So you're trying to do right. You're trying to like pour into somebody who don't love you at the same or want you the same way. It is horrible. And I think the quicker we can help those that we love, or if you might be that person, to quickly identify and get out of it, the better we are. Less time wasted, less pain. I feel like, man, I don't know if they could have gotten out of this earlier. I don't know. But it just hurts me to see that there are people that, how long they've been married? They've been married quite some time.
Quite some time. In 90, they get married in 97.
Yeah, they had, Jaden them was little, you know what I mean? Like those kids are in their 20s. So it is so scary to see what can happen if you're not careful. And again, people deceive you too. And then
they put their
my brother DL will tell you, everybody ain't what they say, butterflies and bubble bath, rubber duckies and bubble bath. Because again, the infatuation stage of their courtship, he clearly was infatuated. He clearly saw what he wanted. He clearly was like, oh, no, I'm married, but it's going to be you. Like that type of strong attraction, some would call it fatal attraction, is real too. The heart wants what it wants. So there's so many layers to the story. I want to welcome DL Saint in the building. Y'all hit the like button again, alongside my special guest, Black Man Unfiltered Network, a YouTuber who's here sharing his thoughts on what has transpired over the years between Will and Jada. What do you want to say, Mr. DL Saint? How you doing this evening?
What's good, people? I'm doing all right. I'm trying to hang in there. Preparing to go home to finish that to honor
take care of business.
Dad.
I hear you.
Yeah, take care of that. So I leave on Wednesday, so I've been cranking. I've been down here cranking right now. Wow. So great topic.
What is your page, DL Saint? So while you're talking, I can subscribe, brother.
DL Saint, I really want to know podcast.
Okay, I got you.
DL Saint, it'll come right up under DL Saint. One of the first thing that popped into my mind is what my buddy Perry Davis Jr. said, another attorney out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to him. He said, women plan, men react. Right? So Jada planned this from day one. Like you said, she didn't want to get married. She planned. I'm not saying to the T, but women plan. And you watching Will react.
Hold on now. Hold on.
That's very true.
No, I'm just dissecting, if you will. Tell me specifically how you feel this situation shows a plan of Jada Pinkett Smith. What part of it is what you're referring to as a plan?
Yeah,
I would say it all. I mean, it's Hollywood, right? A lot of that isn't necessarily based on your talent. I'm not saying Jada's not talented. I think she has a lot of talent, but her ticket in, you could argue, was Will. Like, yeah, she did a different world. She was known in the hip hop world, but I'm sure she hit that glass ceiling right away.
She did.
There was nowhere else to go. Now, she's obviously into more thuggish type dudes. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, being a reformed thug myself. I'm just saying she's into a certain type of dude. And Will didn't necessarily fit that mold. I mean, yeah, I know he was from West Philly, but I mean, when's the last time he was home really in the streets dealing with anything like that? You know what I mean? We all agreed, well, not agreed, but people say allegedly she didn't want to marry him, right? But she knew she wanted to make it, and to make it in Hollywood, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it really is tough. People call it Hollywood and everything, but the outsiders don't really understand what it is. And y'all know I'm not that religious. I was raised in the church, but I'm not that religious. I guess I'm more spiritual, but
right.
I've seen evil in LA. Like, I've had it come up and make deals trying to negotiate with me. I got this. I think you want that. And if you're willing, we can make that happen. So Jada may have fallen into that somehow. And she, like I said, women plan. She's like, well, it's so
security. The plan you see is taking Will to the top.
It's riding Will to the top.
That's what I mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Why,
riding
better
Will
way
top.
of putting it.
look at any role she's gotten lately. A lot of that came through their production company. So it wasn't like she went out and just like, this is the perfect role for Jada Pinkett. I don't see anybody casting in LA thinking this is the arc. I need a Jada Pinkett.
Sorry for interrupting. I didn't know this statement, Doug. Y'all read this? Y'all was aware of this?
Yeah, I read the book. Yeah.
And this is what he says in the book?
Yep.
Wow.
Lord.
So I mean, it is what it is. But I put it on Will. My biggest thing with all this, it's on Will. And I'm looking at my notes, so forgive me. But my fear is that young girls, young women will believe that this is acceptable behavior moving forward. This is the way of a modern woman. And I'm always asking you this, Suzette, is there now a new tradition?
No, stop it. I don't want it to be.
Well,
no.
Right.
It doesn't serve us, it doesn't serve our community.
Yep,
agreed. But my third point is just to tag on that. I mean, young women are they starting to think it's okay to be free with me and my buddy call it the Foxy Brown, if you know what I'm talking with intimacy. Is it okay to leverage that for much more than just the like provisioning and security and all that? Is it okay then to go out and smash who you want to smash and have a guy who's gonna, like I said before, hold the camera? Y'all thought I was joking, but I've seen this a lot out there. You know what I mean? Scientologists get down. Republicans and Democrats, powerful people get down. So, and again, I'm not religious, but I know the scriptures. Hollywood, Vegas, LA, New York, all the big cities, it's more of a Sodom and Gomorrah kind of thing going on where
exactly, bro.
Yeah, so guys are more there's like, again, we talk about the Harvey Weinsteins, that he's such an evil person for what he did. Harvey Weinstein made deals and these women accepted the deals. Now, what about the Harvey Weinsteins of the LGBTQ community? Those men who want other men. These deals are being made for scripts, for roles, right? And no one's stopping them. That's still going on to this day. So
I'm not privy to that. I'm listening to you, sir. I respect what the knowledge is because you've been there, you've seen it. Wow, Doug, I believe Will and Jada is playing the entire world and their marriage. I see in the back Reese from Philly back in the building. Nice to see you. I'll bring it for a second. He kept the conversation very interesting on Saturday. Y'all go back and watch Toxic Relationships, How to Avoid Them from Saturday's show. It says their marriage is a business relationship and they're checking a bag off of publicity, good or bad. Okay, they're gonna get money regardless. Y'all talk about them good, y'all talk about it bad. They stay winning. Interesting.
But Suzette, I'm seeing a lot of chats like, nah, women are not following Jada. I don't know. I'm looking at the rap artists. I'm looking at the people who are like the Cardi
I don't know if they
B's
following Jada or that was the cultural change that started to happen. I mean, we've been having hot girl summers for a little while now.
Should we call them Jezebel Summers?
Women who have
should we call them Jezebel Summers?
Who?
Jezebel Summers?
Jezebel. I'm not sure I can coin that with you, bro. I can't co-sign that with you.
Hey. Hashtag Jezebel Summers.
I don't know. I might have to bring some ladies up here. Hold on, y'all.
I mean, but just think about this though. Just think about even the letter. You go and sit down with your daughter, and Vaughn, thank you, sir. You go down and sit with your daughter, and you tell your daughter how much more you are in love with a dead man versus your daddy in the next room, and then your daughter writes a letter to Tupac saying, "I wish you were really here to love my mother." Your own daughter.
That also did kind of rub me the wrong way. That was a little bit much in terms of exposure to a child. So you guys, the good question. Y'all think Will and Jada would have ever gotten married if Jada had not gotten pregnant? Good question is.
I think Will wanted her. I mean, if you read the book, Will always wanted the picket fence, the house, the success, and the wife. She didn't want it.
This is what y'all be choosing, though.
Right. Oh, she said y'all.
She said y'all.
Y'all be mad at the hot girl summer, but that's who y'all go for, though.
But
I mean, that's another conversation.
I mean, yeah, that's another conversation because there's two type of women like that, right? You have the women like Jada that are very strategic. I love you with those big breasts. Everybody know Jada was so beautiful when she on A Different World. Even when I saw her come out on A Different World, I was like, oh my God, who is that?
Yeah, she was very
So
bad.
can you imagine those big, beautiful brown eyes talking to him with that soft voice? I love you. I want to be with you. And then she gets with him. And then over time, she says, you're nothing. You'll never be like Tupac. He took up for me. If Tupac was in this situation, he would do this. And imagine hearing that for years and years. And then an opportunity comes where you can prove yourself. that you could be more like Tupac.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
probably
all the
one of the
gentlemen
reasons why he
back.
jumped on
Bring 'em.
stage.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Right.
So
and think
living
about
up to
that.
that, but y'all be wanting it. Okay.
Well, you're saying we
Mhm.
be wanting it, but here's the thing: like those beautiful women, like you said, Jada, beautiful. She still is beautiful. Ain't
Yes.
can't take it away from it. I mean,
Yes.
inside might be messed up, but she's still
Yes.
beautiful.
Right.
And she wanted Pop. Who was the other beautiful woman on that show? Jasmine Guy.
Jasmine Guy.
Jasmine
Yes.
Guy. I
Oh,
thought
she
she
was
was the
so
most beautiful
beautiful.
sister ever.
Ever.
Yes.
Ever. And guess what?
Yo, baby. Woo.
Who was in Tupac's room when he passed?
Who?
Jasmine.
Jasmine Guy.
Is that true? I've never heard that. Let me bring up some of my brothers on Lamont 2X in the back. What? All right, so I got a full gentleman.
We need some ladies. Come on, y'all. Come on in here. We need some
y'all
What's
ladies.
even
up, guys? What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Boy,
Salute.
I know there is so much wisdom right now. What happened to parents and advising people, I guess, on who to marry and what to marry and not
Well, her
to?
mom told her to marry him, so I guess she was like, "Hey, this is a good guy. Marry Will."
Yes,
And
I
Jada,
don't think.
but the most heartbreaking thing, guys, is when Jada, and it looks in here when Jada said on her wedding day, people thought she had tears of joy, but they were tears of sorrow. She was so pissed off when she was walking down the aisle to him. She did not want to marry him.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, the chef, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't. There's a lot I don't want to extrapolate and say,
Yeah.
Jada, we following Jada. I think there are a lot of people just indicating in the chat that we see what the foolishness is.
Mhm.
I do think, again, in American society, there has been a promotion of, let's just call it looseness. I know that's politically incorrect, but
On the streets.
of permissive promiscuity, or as it being a rite of passage
Right.
of sorts,
mean-
to use up your good 20s to be in these streets.
That's always been the case. It's just back in the day, we kept it in the closet, right?
You said it
But
was
there was
been
no
going
social
on.
media. There's no social media. Right.
So
now
you could be
it's
for the
in
streets in
fore and it's
Atlanta.
yeah.
And
You
throw
could be for the
it,
streets in Atlanta, then you can go to Miami or Cincinnati or LA and nobody knows you.
right. Throw it from the free throw line. Nobody knows anything.
What is that? Born a brand new version? Is it starts over again?
Yeah.
We set the clock.
Like these
Lord,
to do the miles on the car back in the
let me
day.
get these other gentlemen involved, please. Y'all going down a rabbit hole. Y'all
Hey,
help you.
hey,
Yeah, I'm behind on the comments. Let me get a gentleman who just joined again. Suzette Speaks here live with these fabulous gentlemen here talking lessons from Will and Jada, toxic relationships. Again, my guest, you see him in the middle. Black Man Unfiltered. We just opened up the panel. Other gentlemen are now in the chat on the platform here, ready to give us their feedback. So thank you for being my impromptu guest, y'all. Appreciate your support. Who wants to go? Reese, I think you were first. What do you have to say? You had so much to say Saturday. It made me.
All right. When we watched Game of Thrones, everybody thought it was about dragons and mystery and magic and all of that, but it was a red pill lesson. I compared Jada Pinkett to Cersei Lannister.
Oh,
Let me try to run all this down, and I hope I get it all. So we start off, Jon Arryn, the Hand of the King, gets murdered because of a lie. And the lie is Cersei is sleeping with her brother.
mm-hmm.
And the kids don't belong to the king.
Right.
Exactly.
So the Hand of the King gets murdered behind that lie because he's the only one who knows about it. So on the way up north, for the king to pick his new hand, remember Cersei is his wife. When they get up there, what does Cersei do? She dips off to a private room with her brother and sleeps with her brother while the king is in the basement worshiping the woman he really loves, right? Then he pushes Bran Stark out of a window for her. Intend to keep the secret because now Bran Stark knows.
Yeah.
They get back to the Seven Kingdoms. They get back to Westeros. King's Landing. She hatches a plan to kill Robert Baratheon. Robert Baratheon dies, so now she becomes queen, right? Somehow Joffrey becomes king.
Yeah.
She doesn't give the chair to Jaime. She gives it to her son, right? Joffrey dies. She still doesn't give the chair to Jaime. She gives it to Tommen. Then Tommen dies. She sends Jaime all over Westeros on all these stunt missions. The nigga loses his hand. He comes back. He fights his way back after torture and being a slave and a prisoner and sleeping in his own doo-doo for months. He comes back and negotiates a peace treaty with his treasonous brother, right? And this is to save everyone's life in the whole continent. And what does she do? She reneges out of the peace treaty.
I know.
He can't take it no more, so he haul asses and joins his treasonous brother. They fight the Night King, and they all assume that they're going to die anyway, but somehow they win. So they make it through that. He taps Brienne and leaves and goes back to Cersei anyway. And what does Cersei do? Marries Euron Greyjoy. So he still don't have the throne, right? He fights Euron Greyjoy damn near to the death, and it is to the death. Remember, he was dying on his way to go back and look for her because he wanted to die for her. Died after he did all of this shit, right? And when the Red Keep comes crumbling down, and who do you see in the pile of rocks with his arms around her? Jaime.
Yeah.
Will fucking Smith.
Dude, you are.
Watch the language.
Sorry.
Can I give a round of applause?
Oh my God.
You needed, like, if you were doing like a British style college essay, or what they would call an extended essay about, you know, the compare and contrast the lives of Will Smith with the Game of Thrones, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Ever.
Listen, A+++++++, because there's so many things there. Oh my goodness, we could. Wow.
Jaime and Will. Wow.
Love ain't fair.
Wow. Thank you.
He died.
Still holding on to hope, holding on to her physically. All of the things in which she kept rejecting Jaime. My gosh, her brother. Let's just add that part. And it all kind of destroyed the family, destroyed the kingdom, honestly.
It destroyed a continent.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm like,
Jezebel wasn't that bad.
Man, come on.
Let me digest that, Reese. Wow. Go ahead, Lamont. You came in for the Game of Thrones.
I call him the Game of Thrones whisperer.
Essay that was so beautifully said by Reese.
I don't think I've seen an episode of the Game of Thrones, but the brother told the story had me enwrapped.
Yes.
Had me.
You don't even watch Game of Thrones.
That was a good story, though.
Man,
I love. No, I mean,
now I gotta look at it again.
Yeah, my thing with I saw Corey Holcomb the other day. He took it down, or the story down an angle as to this point I hadn't even thought of. You know, I was, you know, born in 71. I'm 51. So I went through the 80s and the 90s. That was my era. And it never dawned upon me until Corey said it that, you know, Jada and Tupac had every opportunity to become an item. Right? And it never happened. When Tupac died, he was going with it was Quincy Jones's daughter. That was bouncing up and down about, you know, she may be entitled to some of his estate or whatnot, but they had every, you know, I mean, to Jayla's credit, I'll say this, that, you know, she's never come out and said definitively that they were an item, but she has always left it sufficiently open enough so where you could make the misinterpretation. Right. But I'm like, Corey was like, you know, somebody needs to stop her in the tracks, because she's been getting away with this. And you guys have already talked about how she, you know, her success, I would say, at least, you know, I mean, it's fair to say, right? I would almost think it would be I'm maybe exaggerating a little bit to list her as a B-list actress, but at best, she's a B-list actress.
Right.
And she's rode Will's coattails, and I'm of the opinion, you know, and Corey brought this to light, that she's been coattail riding Tupac on a fictitious story that, you know, there's no evidence of, you know, and I really would like to, because there's some.
She made up the whole Tupac thing for clout?
I mean, what they could have been an item, right? They had every opportunity to be an item. Tupac was alive for, you know, until 95, 96. Right? She was at the height of her game too. Like, this was, you know, her biggest movie was what Set It Off. All the
Yeah.
I hate to label them this, but they were essentially the blaxploitation movies of the '90s. Set It Off.
Jason's Lyric.
Insert the movies that never really. While Will was in the biggest movies in the history of Hollywood. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is what it is in that regard. And it takes a comedian.
I don't know, it's a legend. I don't know if it's real or not, but there, like you said, this other content creator brought up the fact that again, maybe he didn't want her. Sometimes we want somebody who don't want us. That's painful. Yeah, great point. Thanks for bringing up that perspective. The Harmony Pill, thank you. So generous of you for the super chat. Says, hello, fellow Caribbean gal. You made a great point earlier. Many dudes complain about the 304 culture, but that's the type of women they entertain. I know y'all said that's a whole nother show.
Hey, you gotta let me speak on that.
Yeah, me too. Just a little bit. Yeah.
Go ahead. Can I speak on that?
Yeah, you want to go?
Oh, it's your show, brother. You gotta go first.
Okay, go ahead.
It's your show, brother. You gotta go first, and I'll follow.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't think in most cases there are spooky and rape out there that do pick women like that, but most men open themselves up to be loved, and they want to reciprocate that love back. And what happens is we have people like Jada that put on a facade. I'm beautiful. I'm lovely. I'm well spoken. I'm educated. I'm in the bedroom. I'm like a dragon. And then you find out later on in life that everybody has slayed that dragon. You find out that other people want it. You find out that she wants to give it to other people. She's throwing it from the free throw line, and everybody's getting the rebounds off of it. And so I think that it'll drive a man crazy. And I think even in Will's book, he said, I never was open to an open marriage. It was her idea, but because I love her, I'll do it. Right?
Is that true? That was in this book?
Yeah. Will was not about no open marriage, not at all.
Wow.
He wanted. Will said he wanted a traditional wife, traditional family. So he wanted to be the leader of his family. He wanted to be successful enough to do anything he needed to do or wanted to do for his family. That's what he wanted.
And who else want to speak on this? Dio?
Yes, please. And it's one thing because I hear this all the time. You're talking about, well, guys want the 304 type chick as opposed to the good woman. And what I'm going to say is these are not my words. Shout out to Myron Gaines over there on the other side of the internet, the RP side. There is a difference between sexual attraction and relationship attraction. There are two different things. Simply because some guy wants to get the Foxy Brown from you doesn't mean he's trying to marry you. Right? There's two different things. Now you can have, But
y'all end up marrying them though.
Who was y'all? Because Will did, and look what happened to him.
Right.
It looks like Steph Curry did. Look what he's going through. What's the name of that boy?
I love Aisha. Why are you bringing Aisha into this?
Wait, whoa.
There's a nexus of connection to that.
There is. And watch this. There's a show. I don't know if it was Real Table Talk or not. It was Steph Curry's mom. It was Aisha. It was Gabrielle Union. And it was Jada. Now look at these women. Now,
birds of a feather.
Just take a moment.
Birds of a feather.
After that, or birds of a feather flock together. So do pigs and swine. Cats and mice should have their chance, and so will I have mine. Watch this. Jada talked to all those women after that show. Steph's mama got caught cheating on Steph's dad. He filed for divorce. Aisha, I don't get no attention. I want other men to look at me. I know I'm married. I just want other men to pay attention to me.
What that sound like?
I want them to look at me. Please look at me. And even in I read, they talked about the Bible the other day. I read, I think it was Isaiah 7:3, where it was talking about Jada's bald head, but it says in the Bible, a woman that throws herself and throws her hips and throws her breast around and her head around, that the curse would be that God would put sores in her head to the point where she would have to shave herself bald.
That's in the Bible. Thank you for some backup. The Harmony Pill in the building. Hold on. That's in the Bible. Wait.
Oh yes, I'll find it for you right now and give you the verse and everything. Hold on a second.
Whoa, hey, listen, I'm not. I'm gonna leave that to y'all.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna touch that.
Don't get in there. Don't touch it. Yeah, that's right.
No, hold on now. Let me before I bring up the Harmony Pill. Welcome everyone who just tuned in. SuzetteSpeaks on the super.
My guy.
Thank you.
My brother.
Pulling you up. Good people. Salute. to @SuzetteSpeaks. Thank you so much for your generous contro. Thank you to the brother @BlackMan Unfiltered. Salute to the chat. Sir Hill Speaks is also a fantastic content creator. Y'all check him out.
He'll be with me tomorrow, guys. Go subscribe to
Oh
him.
yeah, he gonna be with us on finally. Me and Sir Hill Speaks has been over here one time before. I can't say it every time, but we will sit for a whole chat. And hopefully one day very soon I'll have him over here, just like I have you over here.
Absolutely.
And we can chat it up. But big up Sir Hill Speaks. Love the content, my brother. Keep it coming. Again, he's also Unfiltered. You might get a
yeah. Sir Hill Speaks. Yes, that's my guy, my brother right there.
Your feelings might get hurt a little bit, but I don't mind it. I like the, just the honesty and take what you will, but I like the fact that you are bold enough, brave enough to put your true opinion out there. All right, I'm gonna bring up the Harmony Pill while we look up the scripture lesson for the evening.
Yeah. Here we go.
Harmony Pill, how are you?
I am doing good, Carrie and y'all. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad you're up here. I was feeling the pressure. My brothers was definitely giving me the male points of view, and which I love. But I needed to add a little diversity and inclusion, as they say.
Just a tad. Hey, fellas. How's it going, guys?
But yeah, I saw you with this wonderful super chat. Thank you first and foremost. Where do you land? What observations are you making now that we're kind of like throwing everything out there?
Well, respectfully, I just have to speak on reality, okay? So this whole male worshiping 304 culture is not a figment of my imagination. This is what's going on, okay? So it's not just Pookies and Ray Rays that are entertaining 304s. These are also very well-to-do men, very high caliber men. I know these men personally, and this is nothing new. And so it's funny that the same men that are chasing after and sometimes actually getting married to these 304 women, they're complaining about these women cheating on them, being gold diggers, using them, being a savage. They end up being jaded and bitter about the very women that they're entertaining because they want to pass up the good woman who actually is wife quality. So what we have to do, fellas, is we still have to be realistic, right? So this statement may not apply to you guys, but we can't excuse and negate what's actually going on.
I think I can, I've seen that in practice. Not all, but some we have some challenges in this area. They're chasing.
But on the flip
side, I hear what Harmony Pill has said. I heard what DL said. They're chasing maybe for hookup energy, but they end up with kids. They end up with marriages. They end up hurt. Bottom line,
right?
And whether it's a hookup energy, it's still giving you a bad result.
And on top of that, let me say one more thing as well. And this is just food for thought. Whether you're a male or a female, you've heard of the term blocking your blessing. This is just funny to me. I just thought I would bring it up because it was sort of part of the conversation earlier. But you're blocking your blessing by entertaining these savage types of people. So the very people, some men actually are going after this type. And it can be said with the adverse, with women entertaining these types of Pookie and Ray Ray, whichever way you want.
Jezebel men.
Right. So it's like, how do you guys expect, whether you're male or female, how do you expect to entertain a 304 or a Pookie and a Ray Ray? But then at the same time, you expect wife quality and husband quality and some type of Boaz to come your way. It just doesn't make any sense.
And can I respond to that?
Please.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go to church. Here we go. So in the Bible, I didn't want to do it. But here we go. I'll do it. Boaz. Right. Let's talk about Boaz. A lot of women in the Black culture talk about Boaz. Girl, I got to get me a Boaz. Ooh, girl, he did everything for Ruth. Oh, he was just amazing. But what we don't understand is a lot of women miss the point because like a lot of men right now asking women, what do you bring to the table? Hey, I don't do it. Hey, listen, to each its own. But what happens is when you say what you bring to the table, Boaz didn't have to ask Ruth that because if you go look in scripture, Boaz used to watch her. She was the first one there in the morning. She was very helpful. She was very beautiful. She was very unique in herself. She was the last one to leave. She had a great work ethic. So he didn't marry her just to take care of her, but he married her because of her work ethic and she can add to him to help him grow. So he gave her everything because she was everything. Oh, bars. However, if we look on the other side of it, there's I call it the Home Depot bucket theory. And a lot of women have said, I've heard it in a lot of circles, women say, girl, I can get much peen as I want. I can get it as much as I want. Yes, you can. Stop by Home Depot, get you some orange buckets, and you can fill them up with penis. But how many of those men are going to marry you?
It's the same thing that I'm saying. We're saying
I think
the
you're
same
guys
thing.
We're saying the same thing. Right. I just want to add to what you were saying.
Real quick, get the likes up. I'm not feeling that. About 50-some people was in the chat, and I only got 7 likes. That's not a good look, y'all. Y'all not making me look good.
50-some sound like you from my neighborhood, girl. 50-some. They say that in the house.
So if you would take a pause, all of you guys who are watching, again, if you're enjoying the content, toxic relationships, lessons from Will and Jada, have a co-ed panel tonight. Guest YouTuber is Black Man Unfiltered Network, but everybody here is contributing and giving us some good food for thought. As TLA would say, the facts of life. Y'all don't know about that. Even if you watch the reruns, that's a good show.
And what man wants to be with a woman? I'm gonna say this, and I gotta let my guy go because he's burning down. He got a fire in him right now.
DL?
DL got a fire in him right now. But what man wants to? And so they're chasing these 304s.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this: weak men are chasing the 304s because what kind of man wants to be with a woman that warranty ran out 10 years ago? Well, you don't want to be with a woman that's been out there in the world and throwing that thing from the free throw line, and then when you're in the store, you got men giggling at you.
Whatever the case may be, whether they're weak, strong, passive, aggressive, it doesn't matter. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that there are still men who entertain these 304s, but yet they complain about not having quote unquote wife quality. And if you don't like the term Boaz, you can use something different. It's the same thing. That's all that I'm saying.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I think they are chasing them. And I think they make us look bad by chasing them. And the flip as well. The women are out here looking for like Jada, because a lot of women say, "Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I need a man like Will that's gonna go up and slap a man." No, the graveyard is full of men that tried it. The jail is full of men that tried it, right? And Will had too much power to go to jail. But if there were me that jumped up and did that to Chris Rock, I'd be in jail right now.
Amen.
And guess what? And most of the time in the hood, this is what happens in the hood, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all ready for this? The man that I protected her from, when they give me my 10-year sentence for assault, she's going to be with him.
Got a baby by him, same way. That's not everybody. I knew you were going where you were going with that.
Absolutely.
DL. And sorry, Lamont, 2X. I don't know if you had to go, but if you want to come back up, sorry, sir, I will get you involved. DL, you want to respond?
Well, I just wanted to make some comments. In full disclosure, I have had my share of 304. So I just want y'all to know, I'm not just
honest man.
I'm just gotta be honest here.
Amen.
And here's the thing: when you look at a group of men, right? You look at guys who are in that 80% of that 80 percentile that women don't really look at. There's a lot of men are invisible to a lot of women. Like most men are invisible to,
I could say that too. A lot of women are invisible to a lot of men.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Any woman can get a man tonight, tomorrow morning. I ain't talking about relationships. If she wants to have relations, she could walk outside. It won't take her more than an hour to go find somebody. I don't care where she is on that attractive scale, because men desire the Foxy Brown. Okay. So just one of those things. It's the way we're hardwired. It is what it is. Guys, there are guys out there that they're the crazy rabbit. They gotta have it.
Yeah.
Right. They gotta have it. Now, it's hard to get a quality woman. First of all, it's not a whole lot of them. Just keeping it 100. There's not a whole lot of them. They're hard to get. I would argue that Suzette and her crew and the young lady here that we're talking to, I would argue that you guys are women of high caliber, and that's all you hang around with. Right? I don't see you, Suzette, hanging with Jada. I don't see you.
Anytime I sense that spirit, if I sense that spirit, you can't be in my circle.
Absolutely. You spoke on this before.
Exactly.
Now,
words to live by, guys.
If a young guy out there who's not used to getting a lot of access, and he made some good investments, and he wakes up one day because he got some Bitcoin that was worthless back in 2009, and now all of a sudden he is a millionaire. is he gonna be able to come to you, Suzette, and your friends and have the game, the frame, and the mindset to, win your heart? I would argue no. But could he go up to a 304 and her friends and smash them all that night because he written a boat down there where you at, put me on a yacht? Guess what's gonna happen?
Bought me a purse, girl. I got my new Birkin.
Got a Birkin bag. I got the whatever y'all get. I got some red bottoms. I got we having dinner. We having dinner at Mr. Child's. He doing all this.
Salt Bay.
And here's the thing.
He took me to Salt Bay.
And I'm not mad. The game is the game.
Right.
But neither side can complain. Will got what he wanted, and Will is dealing with it. Period. Mm-hmm. I mean, he knew what he was getting. He had to know. Just like the basketball player who got Brittany Renner, got the baby with Brittany Renner. You mean to tell me nobody in the circle told him who she was? They saw the same video.
He was also immature.
That's
that
the
one
whole point.
immature.
You a man, immature or not. I don't care. Mm-hmm. The game is the game. I ain't mad at Brittany, and I ain't really mad at Jada. It's just how do we save the younger generations? Because you got men who don't know how to recognize a good woman now, and you got young women who don't know how to be good women. Like these young girls don't know how to grow and blossom into good women because they're looking at their Instagram, right? They're going to the parties. They want to get on the yachts. They want to ride around with people that I know, ride around in their Lambo trucks, and they want to in their Aston Martins and this, that, and the third. I'm sorry. It's our whole culture is just crumbling, and we're sitting here watching it burn like that fire behind my man right now. What are we going to do about it?
He said exactly what I was saying.
People, but I think we miss also that men have to have that as I think it was Officer Nathan Daly, that D discipline. Mm-hmm. That's a part of it because I think it feeds into, it's like a kind of like chicken or egg kind of deal.
Right. But wouldn't I think I would think a little more
if you don't let it yourself be used.
But I think a little more the onus falls on women because eggs are expensive, sperm is cheap. Women, generally speaking, women mature faster. Girls mature faster than boys. So who are they looking to? We're not in church. So who are they looking to? Again, I asked the question: are they looking towards Jada? Are they looking towards Brittany Renner? Are they looking towards Cardi B? Who are they looking towards? I guarantee you, I bet everything I got on me right now, they ain't looking at SuzetteSpeaks. And that's what they should be looking at.
Exactly. You are, but not as much as what you mentioned. I think, like I said, there's a societal change period because it's not just within our culture. Greater American culture has been, some would say, suffering from. Others would say experiencing an awakening about, this sexual revolution of sorts, where they're trying to say, some believe it's empowerment, others think it's hoification, honestly, and. I'm just looking at the outcomes for the Black community, the Black family, the Black people.
Right.
When we talk about this empowerment of sense, now you're not satisfied with your husband. Now you plan to be, entangled when you get married. You plan. I've heard women. I was like, what is going on?
Jada won.
I always keep a man because I don't know what my husband gonna be doing. I'm like, what?
Jada won. Think about it. Jada won. Will Smith, tall, dark, handsome, multi-millionaire, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. What else could you possibly want? She won the game.
Lotto. No, but again, how did she grow up? Does anybody know about her family structure? I always see her mom. Did she grow up with her dad?
Her mom, well, I know her mom was a crackhead. I don't think her dad, I don't know about her dad.
Allegedly.
No, her mother was a crackhead?
That's what you said.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Jada,
we can shut the panel down then. That explains everything.
Seriously, go on the Red Table Talk. Her mom did a whole show about her mom drug use. She was addicted to crack cocaine.
Was
Jada's entire childhood, she was a crackhead.
That's why she liked Tupac.
And watch this.
But Tupac's mom was a crackhead, and they had something in common.
And guess what? Jada went to, and then on this is all public knowledge, guys. Go to Red Table Talk. Jada also said at 9 years old, when her mom used to have those fiending moments where she used to be in a crack house somewhere, she'd be at her grandmother's house, and her grandmother taught her how to masturbate at 9.
What? On
Can
the
I
Red
respond
Table
to
Talk?
Sophia?
So I mean, come on now.
Jada said this on the Red Table Talk. Y'all go look this up.
Yes, yes. I'll send you the link. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Wow. Yeah, drop it in the chat, please.
I
Because
will.
there's so
I will.
much I did not know.
She said her
Did
mom
not
taught her how
know.
to masturbate at
No.
9 years old, guys.
No, okay. Oh
Yo,
wow.
you know, a lot of this is making more sense to me now that you said that.
This is not wow.
People who grew up, listen to me. People who grew up with trauma behave a certain way.
Exactly.
I've come across some golden information in my travels, and I've made a connection between thugs and homosexuality.
Okay, hold on. Pause. All right, we're going down a different hole. Rabbit hole. one second. Pause. We're going into Reese, again, respectfully. Wow.
No, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to kind of stay on them as their trauma with regards to what you were saying before. People,
you know what bothers me about that situation? They didn't wait. They didn't wait till the children were older until they started doing their nonsense. You know what I mean? And another thing is that they put everything out public to everyone, and then complained about backlash they were getting. They just did the whole thing all wrong. The kids were still in the house. It's just a complete mess. It shouldn't
And
happen.
what does it go back to? I wanted to respond to something DL Saint said, because he basically very eloquently said exactly what I was saying, but in a much classier way. And I totally agree with what he said, because he killed it. Actually, both of you guys on the panel. Something DL Saint said was, and this is kind of just before we go down the rabbit hole, he said Will Smith was aware of the type of woman that he chose, i.e. Jada. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier. These men are aware of these types of women that they're entertaining that are quote unquote savages, but they're still choosing them. Some of them very well-to-do, high value men as well. They're aware of this, but it goes down to accountability, I think. But I agree.
Yeah, and it looks like it looks like Jada Pinkett's mom was on heroin. It said People magazine, July 9th, 2018. I didn't open up the article, but the headline says she's opens up about her heroin addiction.
Let me read a couple.
I found a video if you want it.
You could just drop it in the chat.
Oh,
what is it? What video?
Jada Pinkett Smith gets frank about her sex and self pleasure. Her grandmother taught her.
We ain't going there.
Leave that one alone. Leave that one alone.
Just drop it in the chat. People want to watch.
I'm about to right now.
Do you guys agree that kids that are born high show some traits later on in life, even in late adulthood?
Yes.
I think there's medical studies out there to back that up.
Did it get tied to her being Jada Pinkett Smith? Was mommy doing illegal substances with Jada when she was pregnant? When Jada was in her stomach, or no? After Jada
I'm assuming that. I don't know.
I don't know, but I mean, here's the thing: we all have something we got to deal with in life. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the victim mentality. It's not my fault because my mom was on heroin, or it's not my fault because my dad was a womanizer. I'm not about that. You know what I mean? We got to live our own life. We know the difference between right and wrong. We do know. And it is what it is. You make a mistake, you gotta own it. And that's just how I've always been. People call that red pill thinking, whatever. I didn't know about none of that red pill stuff when I was growing up. I knew the difference between right and wrong. When I was in the street doing what I was doing, if I got caught, I was gonna sit down and do my time, period, because I knew what I was doing. It had nothing to do with my mom. It had nothing to do with my dad, or my grandma, or anybody else. It was who I was. Now, I do understand that drugs affect our bodies. You know what I mean? So if you are born of a drug addict, that could mess up your chemical imbalance. I understand that. But for everyone else, we build our lives. We got to live our lives. I just don't subscribe to this. It's not my fault. And then, so look at Jada. Jada made this man jump up, right? Run up on the stage, embarrass himself, do all this stuff. He comes and sits down. She's smirking. She's smiling. And a few days later, she's like, I didn't tell him to do that. That's not my fault. That is wrong. That is evil. And I don't know if that's in the Bible. I don't know.
No. That's we still talking about the bald head scripture. Did you find a bald head scripture?
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you put it in the private chat. I see it right here.
Wait, no. What you just put in the private chat? No, you put the bald head scripture.
Yeah, it's for you guys who listening. It's Isaiah chapter 3 verses 16 through 18.
Amen.
I gotta go read it. Isaiah 16.
Are you in ministry, Black Man Unfiltered? No,
I am.
You are.
He got the preacher voice. I noticed that
That's
too.
awesome.
I better run away before you throw some holy water on me.
No, I ain't gonna throw no holy water on you. I'm as real as they get, brother. Unfiltered.
I know.
You make anything
That's
come up out of here.
nowadays preacher.
Hey, I want to tell you guys something, man. Women have to be careful because you can make one careless decision with your vagina, and it could cause a long chain of events that can last decades and decades. It really is that deep. I don't want to sound like I'm picking on the sisters, but
No.
I'm gonna give you a short chronicle before I get out of here. It's just an example.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I know you got to go. Everybody, we'll probably go on for another 20 minutes or so, guys.
Mhm.
It's getting late. Tam, I just want to get to a few comments. I'm really behind. Her mom didn't have a traditional marriage. Mom was a side chick. Wow, I didn't know that. Jada's mom got married but divorced when Jada was very young. But she changed her life, so we give her credit for that. Yes. Wow, I didn't know that. I think grandma's showing you that kind of is abusive. I see that. That's a little bit. I've never heard of that. I never heard of that. Ed said I knew about the drug addiction, but just hearing about that second part that really disturbed me. Just listening to it. Yeah, kind of. I want to get back to some of the life lessons here, guys. As I read your comments, they want to know, Black Man Unfiltered, do you sing as well? I love it.
I do sing. Yes,
Yes,
I bet
I
he
can hear
does.
it. Isaiah 13, 16, and 18. There's a bunch of bald-headed people go walk around this earth. Oh, wow. I never read this. Why wasn't this ever brought up?
there it
The
is.
Lord
Hey, she
says
put the
the woman
scripture down.
find
There
her
we go.
body
Oh, she dropping scriptures
walking.
in the chat.
Yes, RM on it. That's my girl. Walking along with outstretched necks, flirting with their eyes. Whoa.
Strutting with swaying
along
their
with their
hips.
swaying hips.
Mhm.
With
Oh, that's
ornaments
in the Bible?
jingling on. That's in the
Yes.
Bible.
Yes.
Oh, I need to go and look at that, like the amplified version.
Me too. I
Bible
need
is
the
like
message.
the Bible's like the have and have nots if you really read it.
Wow.
And
Really?
here's
I
the
didn't
Check
know.
out Psalms too. Check out Psalms.
Psalms are great. I mean, here's the thing. I love the Old Testament, and the New Testament is cool too. But here's the thing with the Bible. I mean, you can question where it comes from, but these are people talking about what's going on in their culture right now. They're talking about what is destroying their culture, and they chronicalized it, and then they put it in the form so we people can learn from it. Isn't it funny that they're talking about stuff that's relevant today?
Still, the Bible is timeless, baby. Every self-help book, every speech, sermon, it comes from this origination in Western culture, anyway.
I mean, the Quran, the Torah. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna give the floor to Reese. Note it. Please
Oh,
don't
yeah.
teach. This is what we don't want. Don't teach those young boys to hate Black women. I don't think that's where we're going with it. He wanted the image of Jada, but failed. This is where I want to kind of refocus. Easy Gospel Piano Lessons is on point. Welcome, Tam, to the panel. He wanted the image of, my God, help us, image of a person, but failed to analyze everything else.
Yes.
I think a lot of people get caught in this. Forget the 304 and the oh, she's exciting and easy or whatever. There's a lot of people, and I think I get very weary of it, preaching on here about the value of a man being on how good his woman looks. I think that's a dangerous rubric. I think people without common moral code, common O'Shea Duke Jackson would say the long-term goals and interests, similar interests, keep people bonded in marriage. But this whole idea, this overemphasis of hot, young, is going to lead to a lot more pain and destruction.
Possibly, we
everybody
can't-
can
but
put
you just
together
said-
a facade. Everybody, I'm telling you, if TLA, because I was watching TLA last night, everybody gonna get a 28-year-old baddie. She has been groomed by Nicki Minaj and all, not hating on Nicki, but just saying the music that she's listened to for the last 10 most formative years of her life has not made her a wife.
Exactly.
And everybody is clamoring for this idea of that is a win for a man. That is a win for him to get this type of look without examining the spirit, analyzing everything else, the soul, the appropriateness of their what should I say, a value system alignment. They are not aligned. She's just hot. And I'm not hating on hot people. There's some beautiful people with some beautiful spirits. But I think this overemphasis allows people to deceive and allows people to come into your circle based on that attraction that DL explained which is that heated, raw sexual energy. And oh yes, I need this girl because for the pop culture, what do you want to call it, social media, this is who I quote should have because I'm a high quote value man.
You
And
see what you
therefore
did, Suzette?
I'm opening myself up to possible to demise, to destruction.
Do you see what you
because
just did?
all these-
Thank you.
Do you see what you just did, Suzette?
Tell
You
me.
just defined Jezebel. She was beautiful.
Yes.
She would draw men in,
Yes.
and she would consume them.
But why y'all choosing them?
Exactly.
After
Because
Philly
they're like
goes,
sirens. They're more okay. Listen, so Jada says she's more like a siren in her music. She's a siren. If you know what a siren is, and if you go look up Greek text or Greek
Yes.
mythology,
The singing sirens.
they sing so
They used to
they're
draw
beautiful.
men, and
They
the
sing, they draw the
Odysseus
men
had to-
in, and they consume them. Now this is what she
Yeah.
calls herself, right? So that's what she did to Will. And Jada said, and he was like, "Oh,
So you're saying she's so beguiling.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he ain't had no chance.
and
sucked him
Suzette, after Philly goes, I was wondering if I could make a comment or two.
Yes,
if you
Philly.
could
Sorry,
squeeze
you
me in
don't
there.
have. Andrew said, "Does Will's mom even like Jada?" Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't never see him over there.
She might have been warning him because Will's mom looked like a decent woman. I don't know what she was like back in the day, but she looked decent.
She lives in the house
with him.
With him?
With
I don't
both
believe
of them?
that. I don't believe
Yes.
that.
She moved on. She moved to the property
Because
And
Bill-
she
Bill
might
now?
have moved out by now, but she was living on the property.
Because I know Will's ex-wife has a guest house there too, and she cooks for the family because Jada cannot.
Well, they take trips together. Will and the ex-wife take trips together. Will and the ex-wife go on trips together because they want to show a strong family front for their son. So they go on personal trips together. The ex-wife, Will, and the son.
What he needed, he divorced. What he didn't need, he married.
Lord help us, God. Help us. not to
Jesus be
so-
offense.
I'm not so sure that I'm glad I came to this live stream this time. Now I got all this new information and I'm confused all over it.
But that's what I've been saying the whole time. You know.
Oh, okay, Tam, you was dropping.
Right,
Nice to meet you. Glad you're here.
Like,
Let's say you before
understand-
Reese go. Go ahead.
I understand all the Bible quotes, right? But you can't apply that to them because that's just not what they follow. So it's going to always contradict, you know, that source is going to always contradict what they follow.
Yeah.
So in their situation, whether it's Scientology or a mix or what have you, it is what it is in that frame. And if Will wanted to get divorced from her, he could have got an annulment. He had a whole year, but he didn't.
He's not going to do it.
I get it. And he's still not going to do it.
Nope.
And so the question becomes is now, if he chooses not to divorce her, are we still going to talk about it come next year?
CLA
Like, what's
made a
going to be
compelling
the
argument that he
after? What's
wouldn't.
going to happen after this?
Well,
a
we
good
don't.
point.
Well. I'll say it. I'll say it to you. What's going to happen after this? She's going to keep giving everybody good information. She's going to keep telling everybody her business. She's going to keep putting his business out. She's going to keep crushing his spirit. She's going to keep every time he does something, she's going to make light of it. Everything, like this man, biggest night of his life. He's jumping on stage trying to defend his wife, and then right after that, he gets an Oscar. The thing that he's worked his life for. The night, this night is for him, and she comes in and guess look what happens.
And but that's the thing. It's his life. He is choosing that life.
Tim,
It
I've
is-
seen men
I
consumed
get
by
what
women.
you're saying.
She
He's
controls
choosing
that
it.
man.
Yes.
But he's choosing it. It's
He
nothing
chose
we
it.
can say or do, is my point. Like, we could keep talking about it, but all I'm simply saying is he is
He
choosing
can't.
that.
We can't. Okay, can we make an intervention? Can we still?
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
You're
we
like-
could do like, and I heard the conversation earlier about like some women say that she could have whispered in his ear, she could have tapped him.
Mhm.
Again, we don't know what she could have done if a man is unhinged, and I said that in the comments before.
Yeah, she
I
could
have
do that.
been around men who have become unhinged, And no matter what you say and do, they are still going to go after that.
Yeah.
But that was the wrong woman though, because let me tell you what happens.
I hear you.
I've been young before. I've been 23, 24 and became unhinged, and a woman tried to stop me, and I still raged out, right? And then on the other side of it, I'm about to rage out, and so and my grandmother or someone of significance or that I love touch me, it changes the mood. So it's not we're talking about his wife, a woman that he lies in the bed with, have children with.
agree.
Jada could have stopped him that night.
I don't think she could have.
But she wanted to sit on the throne and watch her dog bite.
Yeah, and I'm on the opposite end of that. I don't think she could have. I don't think no matter what she said or did, he was going to stop. He had whatever he had in his mind, he was going to do it. We want to think that her touch, her whisper, her looking at him a certain way would do it, because we have an idea of what our spouses would do for us or what we think our spouses would do. But that's not the case in here. We see that, right? We have to go with what the facts are.
Yeah. We can Monday morning quarterback and say all this, but like you said, I agree with it. We are talking from a Judeo-Christian kind of assessment of wisdom, and like you said, they're living according to something even just I don't even understand, but maybe.
So when Regina Hall said what she said, why wasn't there any uproar? Regina Hall at the beginning of the show said, we want all the single men to come to the stage. Oh, Will, you can come too.
Yeah.
Jada okay with it.
That was wild. Yeah, they had a couple of rough jokes.
See? Because they got an open marriage and everybody knows that.
Yeah, that she wanted to tell
in line with that.
So a bald head joke get you slapped, but your
Black man unfiltered. I don't make the rules.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't make the rules.
It
is what it is. I'm not making excuses for his behavior or her behavior. I'm just going with what the facts are.
Yeah, Chris about to get paid.
As the lead spiritual church person on the panel, I did want to make one comment.
Yes. Go
and
ahead.
I'm just going back to my childhood.
Yes.
Right. So when hip hop began, even before NWA, like when it was all East Coast and it was what it was, right? It was the secular music and all that. But no matter what I did on Thursday, Friday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, no matter what I did, Sunday morning,
get on up.
I'm hearing the Stone. I'm hearing Mary Don't You Weep. Right. I'm hearing Going Up Yonder. And it's served not. I mean, I'm just sitting here listening to y'all talking. I'm thinking about it now. It served as a reset. Right. And again, I'm not in the church because I have my reasons for that, but I am spiritual. And I can remember when I was going to do some real horrific things. There's been times in my life where I'm about to do something really, truly evil, and I didn't. And I would have these songs in my head. Right. So my question is this to anybody who's listening: there's no reset for the young women and no reset for the young men.
I agree with that.
They're not going to. I ain't gonna lie, I was forced to go to church, but I love the music. Just like kids, we love music. We're spiritual people. We're musical people. We love the music. I'm not hearing it. And like in my phone right now, one of my favorite soundtracks, is from what was the one with the Isley Brothers were in it. Sister Act was good. They had some good songs in there, but it was another one. When they went to jail with Beyonce did a version of Swing Low.
The Fighting Temptations.
The Fighting Temptations. Yeah. That is an amazing soundtrack. And I have it. I play it all the time. I listen to it, not all the time, but I listen to it 2-3 times a year, depending on my mood, depending on if I've been dealing with too many 304s, I got to listen to it so I can get my head right. Right. So, I think that's a point to be made because we had that reset. We still had the village. We still had the community. It's gone now.
You're making, listen, I remember when I emceed at schools and I was doing Christmas plays and no one knew who Jesus was. Like, it frightened me. And whose birthday is it? My birthday. Like, I was like, no. Like, it's a Christmas play and none of the children know who birthday it is. Man, I don't mean to laugh, but it frightened me. I was like, what you're saying, I think I've had that realization too for several years now too, that at least the groundation of, I would say, for sure Gen X, for sure boomers, some millennials, probably the older millennials, and in between. I can't really broad stroke everybody, but changing now to the next, the Zennials, because there is a less likelihood that they have been introduced to formal religion the way that we were forced to.
Right.
There, like I said, God tell you to meditate on the word. Then He don't tell you to memorize it. But what you just described is the point of it. Meditate on it, and it will be brought to your remembrance, is what it tells you. But without any kind of foundational, again, value system alignment, we're all both in the lion's den when we're meeting these people who are so-called savages. I see you, Miss Globe Girl. I left this up here because many women feel this way. It's hot out here for women. Danged if you do, danged if you don't. If we protect ourselves, we're called stuck up. I heard boring. That's what I heard. We'll grow old alone. If we choose to go along with men, we're called 304's Jezebel. What say you guys?
I gotta push back on that one. I gotta push back.
You know I got something to say about it.
But let me get out of here before y'all go in on her.
Reese, okay, Reese, go ahead. You've been waiting patiently, my brother. Go ahead. Sorry, Reese. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's unfortunate that us and the generations behind us have to see stuff like this on our media. And here we are. I told you before, we're 3-4 decades in on this. Yeah. And me coming from the golden era, the first generation that was smarter than their parents and their children, right? Yeah. I have to see this demise and watch it happen to everyone else's children and my own, right? And not only is the media getting worse, there are more toxic dating age adults in the world now than ever before.
My gosh.
It's a powder keg, and it's sad to watch. And I hate to be negative, but the future does not look bright. It just doesn't. Something massive has to happen. And I think something will. Yeah. I think media and Hollywood is dying. And I think YouTube and some other platforms are growing. And panels like this, that's why I donate. That's why I come on here and try to entertain as much as I can and actually learn from you younger people. It's miraculous, the things that I learned. You know what I mean? So I want to spread the message to like help the YouTubers that are talking positive stuff and not battling back and forth and doing evil and being negative. You know what I mean? So we can put something in front of the people watching that will give them something to follow. Because, you know, Black people do what they see and hear. All humans do what they see and hear. You see what I'm saying? So it has to be a new wave of a different type of content for everybody to latch on to. So that they're not poisoned. Because we can't go into the future like this, y'all. So we each one of us, we have to be a warrior for this. And I'm going to keep coming on y'all panels and entertaining y'all and listening. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm never going to stop. And I love all of y'all.
Amen.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
shout
you
out to Reese.
Reese from Philly.
It's the end, but shout out to Reese because it's bad. We're below Red Keep and the rocks is shaking bad, y'all. We got to do something.
Listen, I'm still here for the essay that Reese gave, which was like a perfect analogy. Yes. Wow.
And you know what? Really put that comment back up there.
This one right here.
Yeah, the one that was it. No, the one before this.
Oh, the one that says, darned if we do, darned if you don't.
Yes.
I mean, and here's the thing real quick. I mean, and ladies, and you know what? I've been having this back and forth with a good friend of mine for going on 6 months now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to make this a man thing, a woman thing. I'm just real curious. And please, ladies, please, in the chat and here on the panel, be honest with me. When you say you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, are you chasing that top percent dude? Are you ignoring that bottom 80%? Please, I'm just curious.
This is my guy.
No, I'm not. It's across the board. I think
if you see who I've been on a date with,
but again, I mean, I'm glad for the individual answers. But are you seeing that as well? I know what I'm seeing.
Yes.
I would love to hear everybody clearly.
What are you seeing? Tell me what you're seeing.
Who, me or him?
No, DL, and then you can chime in, ladies. What do you say? You know what you're seeing, DL? What are you referring to?
I see women flocking to the top tier guys. Call them high value men. I call them top tier guys. Call them the top 20%. They're flocking to the dudes that appear to have resources and connections, appear to be big with the big chains on, with the car, with whatever. And I see on a daily, these women walk right past their coworkers at the burger barn, their coworkers at the drugstore. They walk right past the guy that they went to school with, who hasn't quite come into his own yet. He hasn't quite built himself up yet. Yeah. They walk past those dudes, and then they merge with these guys, and they go to the next guy, and then they go to the next guy. Sometimes it's 2, 3 guys at one time. Sometimes 5 guys in a day. Of course, you're gonna be damaged and hurt after that. So when you circle back to your coworker, who now is one of those guys with the European car, with the clothes, with the taking the vacation trips, he don't want you. So it's not. I mean, just to push back on the young lady who was saying you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Again, let's take a little bit of accountability. Who are we chasing, ladies? Because it's not up to the guy, right? Women control the Foxy Brown, the sexual.
Let me add some context to that real quick. Let me add some context real quick. 3.5% of men make $100,000 or more. 7.3% of men make $75,000 or more. That's a small percentage, ladies.
And we're talking black men with those numbers. We're talking black men.
Every man in America?
No. We're talking about in our culture.
Black men. Black men?
Black men.
Say what you just said again.
3.5% of black men make over $100,000. Right?
And what was the second one?
7.3% of black men make $75,000 or more. Right? So think about that. Now that's a small percentage. Those other guys that are making 50 and 45, they're being passed by, and those could be the best guys for you. But you want the guy with the 100,000, you want the guy with the 85,000, 75,000, but the guy with 45, 50, he can't get you. The plumber can't have you.
You know why he can't
wrong.
have, you know why he can't have the woman?
No, that's
because
not the
9
case.
times out of 10, and I get this often, is because if I make more money than him at 45,000 or he's at 55,000, he is going to say, and I have had men say it, I can't go out on a date with you because you make more money than me.
That's a weak man.
That's a weak man. I wish you'd have met me.
I've had people tell me that, so I can attest to that.
You ask what happens. We're telling you what happens. This is not about we overlook. Is from experience. We know that we're gonna get rejected. So how many times, just like with you as men, how many times are you gonna go back to the same pot to get rejected and overlooked?
But
so it's not that we're chasing the man that's at 100,000 because
they don't want us.
Yeah, I meet
people
100,000 with attitudes. That's what I call 100,000 with attitudes.
It's all about who you choose. It's all about who you choose too. If you choose a man, come on now, it says a lot about now. This ain't nobody from about in the panel. I'm just saying in general. If you choosing a man that says I can't be with you because you make more money.
We're not choosing. He's choosing us.
Okay, he's choosing you. So we have so many of our black sisters, and I love it. Oh, I remember my mother used to say this. I used to hear it when I was a kid. Oh, we have the gift of discernment. We know when these men ain't nothing. And so when you have the gift of discernment, a man asks you out, and you can be around a man for about 5 or 10 minutes and know he ain't good for you. And you know if a man take you out on a date and say, you make more money than me, I can't take you on a date. Come on, you sniffed that out. Come on, women are hounds.
Please let me interject, please, because I cannot bear to listen to this. I'm sorry. Please let me interject.
Go ahead, Harmony.
Yes, I want to hear your perspective. Yeah.
And it's actually not against. It's actually not against anything that you guys are saying, because you guys are all making very valid points. But what I actually wanted to speak to was the original comment that was made from Miss Globe Girl in the chat. She's not talking about how much money a man makes and chasing after a top 3 or top 10%. That's not what she's talking about. And now hear me out on this one, because I'm seeing this and I'm hearing this just in everyday life. What she is talking about is the fact that this 304 culture has been glorified by all types of men, not just high caliber, quote unquote, high value. Your regular average Joe blue collar man is on OnlyFans, Instagram, and who knows what else, chasing 304s and glorifying them, and then overlooking the regular, if you want to call it that, or the wholesome, classy lady because she's boring. That's what she's talking about. This has nothing to do with chasing a top 3% man. What we are talking about is the fact that across the board, and it's gonna, and both sides need to be accountable, because now I have my own channel and I'm speaking directly to women, and I'm getting ready to speak on this 304 culture because it's sickening. This culture has
Please,
gotten
please
out
drop
of
it in the
hand.
chat because I want to be on that one.
Yeah, I want to be on that one.
Same here. Same. I want to be on that.
Shout out
See
to
your
the
channel
real
right now.
Nathan Daly just come through.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
subscribe to your channel right now, Harmony Peel. That's
Yeah,
what it
one
is.
last thing, and again, I'm not disagreeing with you guys, but I just wanted to make this separate point because I like what she said, and I'm just gonna clean it up real quick. And someone else on another channel was saying this 304 culture cannot exist unless it's being glorified. You got your average Joes making 20,000, 30K, all the way up to the top tier, chasing these women, and that's why they are doing so well. It's gotta stop.
It hurts my feelings, and I see you, Nathan. Nice to have you.
Hi.
I'm so
What's
happy
up?
you're here. Big up yourself.
What's up, Juan? What's up, Juan?
Listen, I'm having a wonderful Monday night now because I see my brothers are here supporting. Thank you so much for coming up. The panel is now closed. Y'all gonna have me up here till midnight. What's up?
Nathan, can I put a battery in your back real quick?
Hey, drop it.
Okay, so listen, Nathan, because me and Nathan had long streams on this same thing, guys. So I'm gonna put a battery in his back. I heard a guy say this the other day. He said the women that Harmony Peel are talking about, the 304s, he said, in actuality, if we want the truth, he said a lot of women don't want the truth. He said, but those women are for recreational purposes only. Those are not the women we want to marry. Those are the women we want to have fun with. And so, yeah, so you may be correct about the boring woman, and she may be boring because there's a lot of sexy, boring women out here that men want to marry. At the same time, the other women are for recreational purposes only.
They say after 15 to 20 years, y'all being in these streets.
Yeah, it's too late then.
You know what I said? I said used, tainted, thrown away.
It's
When are
sad.
y'all gonna stop? When you're 60? Because that's
when
what
T.I. was talking about all men yesterday on his channel, and they
When
want to get a
somebody like
28-year-old.
Harmony
I'm
Peel come
like,
and get them.
but y'all bodies change too, though. So
Yeah, but I can have babies until I'm 100.
We produce 150 million strands of sperm a day.
Okay, Abraham.
Nathan, speak on it.
Yeah,
but I'm not glorifying it though. I'm not glorifying that life. It's just
not you.
This is so layered. This is so layered. I would propose that we do at least a 3-channel thing on this. Like we'll go to Harmony Peel, we'll do Black Man Unfiltered, we'll do it. I'll do one, and we all bring in our own people. Because here's the thing. I've been waiting for this conversation for a long time, but I can't have it on the RP side of the world because everybody's coming with one philosophy and they don't want to come out of it for fear of being ridiculed by the others. Same thing on your side, Suzette. We tried to have that conversation, didn't we? And then people,
nervous.
Right, people come over this, but maybe if we attack it from different, if we attack it at the same time, like an organized front, and it's like, look, feel free, say what you want to say. You're not part of the RP. You're on my man's channel. You're on Suzette's channel. You feel free to say what you want to say, but here's the thing: we know it's a problem, and I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna keep it 100. I am a nice guy. I tell you all the stuff I did back in the day, but every time I was the nice guy. Every single time I
get played.
I paid, and they're like, "Well, you chose the wrong woman." Did I? Because she would treat me a certain way, and then she'll go off for another dude and be with him for a minute, and she'll suffer through that relationship because that's what she wanted. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not judging her. I'm still cool. Guess what? I still get it. She comes see me every now and then because that's the game we in.
We go through that too, though. On the other side, it's the
exactly.
So
what's the answer?
The wholesome woman is getting cheated on.
So you know what, DL? I'm so glad you said that. Let me say something real quick. So tomorrow, the lovely Suzette will be on the panel with us tomorrow. And the name of the show on my platform tomorrow will be discussing the Black woman with Black women. And so I'm going to bring this up tomorrow, and I would love the Harmony Peel to come on that platform tomorrow, on the panel tomorrow, because her perspective will be great, especially bouncing off Suzette. That would be wonderful. Tam, you too. So come on in there, and it'll be me and Sir Hell.
Come on in the room.
We're gonna navigate that thing a little bit, but we're gonna sit back. We're gonna ask the questions. We're gonna let you guys work.
And I really want to hear that for real, y'all. I mean,
tomorrow 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be on my brother here, the Black Man Unfiltered on network channel. So y'all, please drop the comment. That's why I know I'm
the
gonna
link.
Drop the link, please, RM, for his channel. Y'all go subscribe. I'll also share it in my community page. I want to get Mr. Nathan Daly involved.
Yeah.
You came in at the right time, my brother. We were talking about lessons from Will and Jada, but we got a little sidetracked.
No, you're good. I just got off a stream, and so I saw you up. I said, let me come by real quick. I know your stream's about 2 hours tops. So I said, let me see if I can slide in real quick. I mean, you guys, from what I heard, you guys covered some interesting things. I think sometimes when we have this discussion, we forget that both sides are suffering differently. Mm-hmm. And like the gentleman said earlier, I've been in that position too, where I've been that great guy, really amazing. And I don't know what it is, but it's not, a lot of women aren't attracted to that. The ones that I've picked, right? I can say the ones that I've picked. So again, it is a picking thing. I think we all recognize that to be true, but I think it's deeper than that. I think this goes back to understanding why it's that way. Why do a lot of our men pick wrong? Like, we pick what we know is not good for us, or the women pick what they know is not in their best interest, or they pick based off of their preferences and not based off of their needs. And they end up having bad outcomes later on. But I say it's culture. I say our culture is wired backwards. So we validate the wrong things, some of the toxic things in our community, and we shoot for that, right? We go for that. We talked about it before on this channel, I believe, about that, that attorney here in Atlanta where I'm at. She was killed by her partner. And people were like, hold on, this is an educated woman. She has all this. She did all this work for herself, and she picked this bottom feeder guy in a relationship. How is that a thing? It's something I've seen in my career. When I go and do these domestics, I'll run and talk to women, and I'm looking at the guys that they're with, and I'm like, ma'am, you're a whole doctor, right? Or you're this, you're that, you're an engineer, you're this top whatever, you got these degrees, and you're dealing with this low life, right? This guy that
two things on that, Nathan. So sometimes it is often who's picking us, right? And when I say that, I'm saying that from the perspective of, and I don't think guys actually hear this often, right? So I'm an engineer, and the first thing, if I go out with someone, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're an engineer, you're smart. I don't know if I could be with you."
I mean, that's fine.
But what I'm simply saying is, he may be a good guy, but that good guy doesn't want that engineer. It goes back to the thing that she's too wholesome, or she's too boring,
or too independent.
Or we don't have nothing in common. So what ends up, and I don't want to say left because that's a bad term, what she ends up being with is somebody that you or other people may not deem to be desired, that she should be with. But he is the one that wasn't intimidated by anything else and actually wanted to have a conversation with her. I'm just giving you the other side of what actually happens. I'm not saying that it's right.
I've seen it in the chat, sis. Tam, you on the money. Lying about what you do for a living. I can't go some places and not say, I'm a lawyer without like clear.
Right.
Yeah.
If I say I'm a teacher, because I also teach online and other things, they stand and they keep keying in my face.
But the thing is, it's not what I'm saying is those men, I want to be very
not the ones you're supposed to be with.
We're
right.
Clear
Those are
on
weak.
that.
Those are weak men. If I went out with Suzette, I'm not worried about her being a lawyer. I'm worried about I'm me. I'm gonna be me. Right. I'm gonna be me, and she's gonna be drawn to me. And when we come together, we're powerful together. I'm not worried about what she makes, because when we come together, it's gonna be what we are together. It's not about
that mentality.
And I think that's the thing.
That's just not what happens on the other side of the table.
Those are weak men.
Well, we agree with that. Yeah. You end up not going out with them, but you want to know why that woman ends up with that guy that you don't think she should be with.
I don't wonder why. Men don't wonder why. Men only have an issue.
Talking about from what you just said.
No, well, what I was saying was the issue is that it's a culture problem, because in other cultures, the nerdiest person, the person who's aiming on their purpose and they're successful, those are the ones that the women are going after. They're going after those men. Yes. So again, it's a culture issue. We are wired backwards for whatever reason. Yep. We glorify a lot of negativity in our community. And again, these guys at the bottom of the barrel are getting access to some of our greatest women. And guys are doing the exact same thing. When I go in these homes and I'm talking to men, I'm like, why did you do this with this escort, right? You know, you're educated, you're this, you're that, because you want this fun situation, you want this Instagram model. So again, we, men and women, are picking poorly because we are going after what we want and not what we need. We don't understand relationships.
That's it.
We don't understand the purpose of family. We don't understand the power of family and what we're supposed to be doing when we're coming together. We're hypersexual as a community, right? We're focusing more on what a person can do in the bedroom instead of what they can do in real life.
Exactly.
Right? And so again, we're not vetting people properly. You know, again, I deal with people's complaints. And so when I hear men tend to complain for a short amount of time and they go about their business, the problem I think that we get a lot of times from women in our community is that they're complaining and then they're blaming men for why their situation or relationship turned out the way that it did. And men are saying that women, you have absolute complete control over the men that you pick, because I have to find you. You have to select me. And if you choose to select me and I'm not worth a damn, then that falls on you. The responsibility is on you. A lot of times that I have seen in my works is that women pick wrong and they stay long. You guys stay way too long in poor, piss relationships, and then
Not
get
all of us
upset
do.
about.
I'm sorry, but not all of us fit that category.
No, I'm not talking all.
Too
I'm not
bad.
talking. No, this is not a blanket statement. This goes. You know, if it applies, if it don't apply, let it fly. Right. This only applies to the situation. Men make the same mistake that women make when they pick poorly. Right. You have men that are impregnating women they have no business being with. Right. I mean, you look at what Chris Brown just went through. You look at what Drake went through. These are top tier guys. Their sperm's worth millions of dollars, and you got to put hot sauce in your sperm. I mean, in the condom. If you have to do that,
you shouldn't have been sleeping with the girl in the first place.
Sleeping with her in the first place.
But it's fun. But
it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. And so we turn this whole relationship thing now into a entertainment, right? Sex is entertainment. You know, relationships is more about entertainment. It's not about life building, legacy building. We are not putting that as a focus or priority. And I think, again, our community has gotten so far away from traditional values that we are out here just kind of doing it on our own. Every household is a different culture in the Black community. You know, I can line up 10 women, you can line up 10 men, and they're all raised differently. And again, that is a problem. There's no consistency, you know? And so as long as we keep treating sex and intimacy like a sport, you know, we're going to have these outcomes, right? You're going to have people going in and out of these doors.
Exactly.
I got a story. I got a story for you guys. I mean, and this is.
Hold on before you
go ahead, Tim.
Nathan. So let me ask you this, and actually to all the men, do you think, as a man, the more money you make, the different division that you have for the type of woman you want in your life?
No.
I got the perfect story for you, Tim.
No.
I got the perfect
That's why
story for you.
millionaire men are marrying the cashier at McDonald's.
I got the perfect story for you, Tim.
So the answer would be yes.
Yeah.
They do want a different division. They don't want the professional woman.
Yeah, and the money means nothing. The answer is the money means nothing.
The money doesn't mean anything. It's a man.
What I'm saying
her money means nothing.
What I'm saying is, yeah, I see millionaires marry women from McDonald's all the time. What I'm simply saying is,
so we got to go to McDonald's.
I have several coworkers that have married waitresses from McDonald's, from Chili's, and they're millionaires. But within 10 years they get divorced. And
we ain't gonna say all of them, Tim. That's a blanket statement.
Look, I ain't gonna say all of them, but I'm just saying the ones that I know, they married them for 10 years and they got divorced from them. And when they got
I'll tell you why that is too when you're done.
Yeah, I say 45%.
Yeah, and when they got divorced from them, what the number one thing, because I asked them what was the problem, it's like she didn't have any ambition. I was like, well, what ambition did you expect for her to have when you met her, and what were you looking for? And the other thing is, what I often hear is that she wasn't wife material in terms of keeping the house clean, cooking, and so forth. She didn't have those skills.
So let me speak to those one at a time. So the first one is, what does wealth get you? It gets you access to more. And what ends up happening, the guys who have that ability, because I'm gonna tell you earlier when you guys were having this conversation, I was like, hey, I'm that guy who was making 72,000 before I retired. And I had women pass me up, women that I've met casually here in Atlanta, beautiful women. I'm a very respectful guy. I like to consider myself to be a little bit handsome, and I come up here and I have a regular conversation. I get the number, we go on dates, and I get told in the most respectful way, I normally date guys who, don't work 9 to 5s. I prefer guys who work, who make about 6 figures or more. Ma'am, do you make 6 figures? No, I don't. I dated a woman who told me she divorced her husband because he wasn't ambitious enough. And that also, he wasn't willing to chase the bag. So I asked her, I said, what does that mean? He was comfortable with what he was. Listen, I don't owe anybody anything. I'm debt free. I made good money. And I still had sisters pass me up because they're chasing this idea. A lot of women there's a lot of women in our community, for whatever reason, they're more concerned about a lifestyle. They want someone to create and provide a lifestyle. Again, we have the wrong outlook on what marriage is supposed to be because we weren't really taught. A lot of people in our community weren't taught. A lot of us come from broken homes or dysfunctional homes, or where we haven't seen a consistent 2-parent household in about 3 generations. And so we're going off of what we see. A lot of us are going off of what we see on social media. So dating now is so backwards. So when we look at guys now who have status, they have money, what do? They choose women based off of what they want, not based off what they need, because they can do that. Me now, I chase after women based off of what I need. And I hope I can get some things about what I want on the back end, but my priorities are getting my need met. With women now, they chase after their preferences. And then when they need something out of the guy, they start looking at the needs. And by then, sometimes it's too late. Right. And so we're chasing backwards. We're going after the wrong things first. If you prioritize your preferences over your needs, and then you get exactly what you're looking for until things go bad, until you need him to step up, until you need him to be a father. And then you start looking at those qualities that he didn't have in the beginning. And what I've seen is I come in this situation and I start asking questions, and the women have already seen all the red flags and purposely ignored them because their preferences were being met. He has the look, right? He's 6 foot, he got the 6-pack, and maybe he ran the streets, he made he was a side hustle, whatever, right? The sex was extremely good. And then boom, he fits the bill, the legs go open, and you guys are happily ever after until something bad happens, until a life circumstance comes into play. And a lot of times it's either kids or a job, or, you need help with something financially. He's not providing, he's not stepping up. And then the domestic violence happens. Then I show up, I'm like, okay, so you picked him because of what? Oh, he didn't have a job when you met him. Well, cuckoo-cuckoo, what do you think was going to happen? Right? So again, we focus so much on our preferences, and then the needs, the things that are very important. Again, we live in a society now where men are being judged by their size of their wallet, and not the substance of their character in some cases. Now, to your point, when you say you run into men and they get turned off, or they're like, oh, your profession, I can't deal with that. Okay, then you move on. When I meet a woman and she, I move on. I don't really make a big deal about it. I think the problem is there's a lack of quality on both sides.
Thank you.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find someone who's mentally, physically, and spiritually together. What I run into out here on these streets, a whole bunch of women worshiping the stars and the moon. And I'm a Christian. But this is a new thing that's really going throughout our community that no one talks about. I meet more women now who pray to ancestors than... So, and again, I get it, but these are beautiful women. These are educated women. So a lot of times we're running to people that we're not equally yoked with. And what happens when people are tired of coming out here in this market and looking for the right type of companionship, the issue is that they end up basically cutting corners and agreeing and just saying, look, I'll just go ahead and settle for this and settle for that because I'm not confident that I can find someone that's balanced enough for what I want. We go out there and we settle. And a lot of us who are quality people, men and women, are settling for what we really don't want because it's so hard to find people who are very balanced in our community. That's because our culture, and again, you guys spoke on it earlier when you talked about you have OnlyFans this and porn that. You guys, all this stuff was developed by the enemy to keep us separated. So again, I've said this before, a lot of our men are just throwing their seed in the trash can every single day, beating off to oblivion. And so, of course, if I can, instead of going out here hunting and looking for a quality wife, I can sit here and fantasize about one all day, every day, and not worry about the stress. You got women out here wearing out batteries on toys. Why would there be any ambition for you to go out here and actually mingle with people? You can go on here and social
but guess
media
what?
and
You
get the
preaching today,
Guess
boy.
what?
You preaching today.
Guess what, Nathan?
What's
I
up?
have to interject. I hate to interrupt the Nathan show, but I'm sorry. I'm in Atlanta as well. I've been in Atlanta. I work in the film industry. I've been here for a very long time. And I completely agree with what you're saying, but there's also another side to it. And it's kind of what Miss Global Girl was saying in the chat earlier. So myself, being someone in a heavily industry driven city like Atlanta, it's an entertainment mecca here. Just to be perfectly transparent with you, I'm approached by celebrities, pro athletes, film producers, the like. I've been with these people before. I'm still approached by these people, and I'm actually rejecting them because for several reasons, because that's actually not what I'm looking for. So when you say that a lot of women are going for these high caliber men, yes, that is very true. But then you have the minority like myself, like a woman that's consistently being approached by these guys, and I'm trying to throw them back. I'm like, you guys can have them. But then when I get with the guy that's actually, you know, regular, because I would like someone that's just down to earth. I don't really care how much money you make. It still goes back to what you were saying, which I agree with. It's a culture problem, because you got dudes making $35K that are still glorifying this 304 thing. And it's like, when do we get a chance? People that are wholesome, like myself, I'm not chasing after these men that these ladies are chasing. Those are the ones that are approaching me. I'm trying to throw them back. And I'm actually looking at the regular guy. But then when I get with the regular guy, he's still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's
guess
like,
what? Hold on now. That regular guy, that's not a regular guy. That's a regular boy. Because let me tell you, hold on, Harmony Field. Let me say this.
No.
I mean, I'm trying to be, and I'm going to put my comedic style to this right quick.
No.
I just pulled up your page. If a man comes to you and he playing games like that, I'm looking at you right now, right now. And if a man come to you and he playing games, he's a boy. There's no way nobody's going to pass up this beautiful woman and play games.
That's not what I'm saying. You're missing
All
my point.
day,
I don't
every day.
entertain boys. That's not
I'm
what
about
I'm
to
saying.
say that we got the content out there and they still come sideways.
Yeah, but you're right. Harmony
What
Pill,
I'm saying, what I'm saying is, and I don't like to use the word regular, but I don't know what other phrase to use. That's the opposite of
Average
the
Joe.
3%.
Average
Thank
Joe.
you. Yeah, because I'm not impressed.
But here's
I'm
the thing,
much-
and I'm
not
hearing some
impressed
really
by
good
how
stuff.
much
You're
right now.
laughing at my PC. I'm very PC.
So PC.
Yeah.
I'm loving what I'm hearing. I cannot wait for this conversation to continue. But just two quick points. I don't know what the Hollywood life is like in Atlanta, but I do know what the Hollywood life is like in Hollywood. So I'll tell you this story real quick. My last year in LA, my last 2 years in LA, I'm going through the family court system. I'm getting beat up. Because I ignored red flags and I decided to get with someone who checked some boxes, and I thought this would work pretty good, and I'm paying for it, 100. I'm a single dad. I have a daughter to raise, but I've lost a son to this process, which is horrible. I'm driving Uber. This beautiful sister jumps in the Uber. We're in West Hollywood. No, we're in Westwood, and I'm taking her downtown. She gets in, beautiful sister. I mean, solid 9, solid, no makeup on. You could tell she's a hard worker. She gets in the car. She's looking good. We're driving. I strike up a conversation. She didn't want to talk to me. I ain't mad at her. I'm the Uber driver. She didn't want to talk to me. But I was able to get past that. We strike up a conversation. Turns out she's a surgeon. So she said that she was working at the hospital, and I asked her what type of doctor she was, and that's what got her into the conversation, because she looked up immediately like, oh, thank you for not thinking I'm a nurse. I'm like, nurses don't wear $1,500 shoes. Sorry. You know what I mean? So I know she's single, no ring. She ain't talking about her dude. She ain't on the phone. She ain't texting. By the time we got where we going downtown LA, we discovered that we know people in common. I knew someone she went to college with. I work with the guy in the same field. But she sees me as the Uber guy. She gets out the car, you know, and I'm like, yo, we should get together. We should talk. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 bye. Okay, bye. Here's the thing. She's looking at me like, oh, he's like the nice average dude. I made just under $200,000 that year. Right? I was doing what I had to do to handle the situation I was thrown in. I ain't mad at her, and I knew it was never going to happen, right? But that's the sort of thing. Sometimes something is right in front of you, and we can't see it. Men and women, we can't see it for looking at the next thing, right? She's trying to go holler at some dudes that made less than me, right? Dudes that are shorter than me, all that kind of stuff. When you get into like, well, you know, 6 figures, 6 feet, all this kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't mad. But the downside to that, because there's always going to be a little bit of you got rubbed the wrong way. So the downside to that is she circled back and she sees DL saying, oh, what's going on? Yeah, my man done basically verified you. Okay. When she come to holler at me, she going to get the bad boy. Because I came at you proper the first time.
But DL,
I came at you proper the
DL,
first time. I see where you at.
DL,
But I want to be 100. I wanted to be transparent here. I just wanted to be 100 because it goes to my brothers. But it goes to my man's point. Everyone is so messed up. We're so, you know, we're so nicked up and scarred up and all this and that and the other. And it's we just keep missing what we really need, what we don't have because our family has been decimated. Our village has been decimated. We don't need the okay from the family anymore. We ain't got mom and grandma and dad to sign off on whoever you bringing home. We ain't got good women.
Grandma used to box you in your face if you came out the house.
We don't have that. Grandma is in the streets with the grandkids.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
And you know what? Let me say this. Let me say this as well. My grandmother and my grandfather, I'm glad you brought that up. My grandmother and grandfather are the same. My grandmother said when she met my grandfather, he had nothing, but he had work ethic. This is her story. I'm trying to get her on my show, but she said, I don't do them cameras. I said, Grandma, I'm gonna get you one day. You got to get on here. But she's almost 90, right? And so I said, and so she's like, yeah, they were married for 63 years before my grandfather passed away. And she said, when I got with him, he didn't have the money, but he had the work ethic. And she said, I didn't look past him, right? She got with my grandfather. My grandfather struggled for a little bit. And this is what she told me. She said, my granddaddy went and bought a rooster and a chicken. And they had a little shack of a house. And those chickens used to lay those eggs and they used to sell them 50 cents a dozen. And she said she used to straighten the girl's hair in the neighborhood for 50 cents a head. And that's how they ate.
Wow.
My grandfather ended up going to the pipeline and spent almost 40 years of his life on the pipeline in the 60s and 70s, making $1,500 to $1,700 a week. That's a lot of money for a black man in that day.
Yes, yes.
My grandmother said his loyalty to me for holding him down, he would send me every dime and he would only keep $10. She said, I took that money and I invested it in property, rental properties. And now my grandmother's sitting on her butt, collecting them checks from those dear leases, from that 100 acres of land, those houses, those everything, bro.
Yes.
But what if she would have left them?
Exactly. But that goes back to value system alignment.
It goes back to value. And the one last point, if I can make it, if I can make one last point, there was some sisters in the chat tonight saying how they lie about their careers when they're talking to certain dudes. Ladies, don't think we don't do the same thing. I didn't tell women I was an air traffic controller. I don't tell people now like what's going on with me. I just talk. I might let the inner gangster out and I let them make up their own mind. And guess what?
But don't.
Every time the gangster comes out, the bad girls come around now. Every time. Every time. So what am I supposed to do? But here's the thing. Everyone's saying the same thing. We're the good women. We're the good men. I don't know. Maybe Kevin Samuels, and I'm not a fan of Kevin Samuels. I'm not a hater, but I'm not a fan either. But maybe he's on to something when he's creating these spaces where they're putting people together. He's taking the role of the village. He's taking the role of the matchmaker, and he's putting people together, and he's letting men do manly things, and he's letting women observe, and then kind of when he was saying he was doing that, I was like, I don't know if that's a scam, but gosh, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, if I could go somewhere that's sanctioned by Harmony or Tam or Suzette, and I can trust that there are good women in there, right? I don't have to let that inner gangster out. If I can trust that these people have been.
Let me pause you on that because this is
shout out real quick. Shout out to the security boss. Thank you so much.
Security boss. Hey, Shook.
Thank you so much.
Let me pause you on that because we've had two top tier female dating coaches who were pairing and trying to get women connected with quality men quit their jobs because they talked about how difficult it was to work with women. This is not something that men are making up. And I think sometimes when we have these conversations, a lot of times our sisters will be like, we're exaggerating. You know, listen, you don't have to date women, right? We're telling you where the difficulty lies. One of the most difficult things that I have noticed in my experience in dating women is attitude. It's attitude and a lack of respect. And again, this thing goes deeper than money. It's just overall, just again, when we're talking about the conditioning of our culture, because when we talk about the difference in money and income, that stuff doesn't bother me. A woman making more, or a woman that's taller than me, you know, I'm 5'10". I don't have an issue with women 6, whatever. I'm all for it. Again, I do understand the insecurities of people and men. I get it. I get that all day long. And it's sad. At the end of the day, it's hard to find quality, and it's on both sides. We are both in this struggle together. And again, a lot of times I've seen people have successful outcomes because they had friends and family recommend people who they know are out here or solid people. That's what a lot of other cultures do. They examine the family, they link you up on your economic level, and they say, hey, my son is this, my daughter is this, let's bring them together. They understand the mission, right? I make 72,000. If I'm with a woman who makes 100, guess what? That's 172,000 that we have in our home. Black people are 13%. We only own 1% of the wealth. Wealth is built with families. You cannot build wealth successfully without families. They done took us out of our homes, right? You can struggle to get a home now. Good luck getting a home without two incomes here in Atlanta. So again,
5.2%, 30-year fix, y'all. 5.2%.
Exactly. And get the fix. Don't get the balloon, right? Don't get that fluctuating interest rate. You know, at the end of the day, we need each other. Wealth is built together. They have tricked us out of our wealth, and we are allowing it to happen. So when I see conversations on YouTube and people are insulting, disrespecting women, disrespecting men, talking about divest this. I did a video, I just got off a stream talking about a woman saying how she likes to see Black men assaulted by the police. It turns her on.
Oh,
right?
no.
And
I was watching a little bit of that, brother.
It's sad, it's sickening, right? And so I dived into it and talked about, you know, just from the police perspective and domestic violence and what that looks like, going over the stats and the data about DV and our community, even nationwide. You know, the thing is, again, the biggest problem is we're not building homes together. We're not keeping the homes together. And because of that, we're not keeping wealth. And that's exactly the name of the game. The powers that be does not want Black people together. That is the truth. We have a common enemy, and they are doing a great job because we are so confused. We want to run, march, and do all kind of stuff, but we cannot fix our own homes. That is the reality. That's where money is made, right? That's where wealth is made, right? We're not passing on legacy. We're not passing on any wills. Folks are going in the grave and getting stuck with a bill, and nobody cares, right? So again, I hear what you're saying because I'm in Atlanta. I see the foolery out here in Atlanta, right? There's a lot of Black excellence out here, and the Black excellence is just as Black crazy. You know, it's unacceptable, the foolishness that takes place here in Atlanta, and it's sad. And it's very, very disheartening, to be honest. This should be the Black Mecca of excellence, you know, but it's the Black excellence of individualism. We're good at being by ourselves, right? It's easy to have sex with someone. It's harder to build a life with someone, right? So that is a problem. We are giving our bodies away too frivolously to people who don't deserve it. You know, again, we've made a sport out of it. That is, you know, I talked about the intimate partner violence. That's one of the biggest issues, right? You're not going to have that violence if you're not intimate with people you don't know. You know, again, we've gotten too cavalier with sex, and sex is the root of a lot of our problems. You guys, I interview women, they're sleeping with guys they don't know. You know, within 3 or 4 days, they're inviting these guys over to their home, and I'm talking to them and said, "Ma'am, this isn't wise. This isn't healthy." You know, and it's a joke to them. You know, the men are doing the same thing. They're driving down the street, picking up women off the street, and then wonder why their door got kicked in the next day. Right? Looking at her body, so fixated on her image that they're willing to risk their freedom behind a woman. So again, it's on both sides. We're just doing it differently. And if we're involving ourselves so much around porn, I talked about this on Storm Monroe's channel, how sex is used to divide us. We focus so much on the things online and all that kind of stuff. Again, you lose the desire to go after one another, right? When it's easily provided for you on a computer, on our phones. What's the motivation?
Let me ask this: do you all, as men, say if you go out on a date with a woman 3 times, on a third date she needs to be intimate with you?
And that depends on the woman.
I agree.
Hold on, and let her answer the question one by one. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I think that men should be sapiosexual. Sapiosexual. Yeah, I'm sorry, I said
attracted
it wrong.
to the mind.
Sapiosexual. Yes.
What does that mean?
I think that men should go out with women, date women, and you shouldn't be attracted to that woman unless she brings a certain amount of intelligence, a certain amount of personality, a woman that you can build with, not a woman that will kill your spirit. Because a lot of men get fixated. I'm telling you, titties and booty. I'm sorry, that's not my channel.
Okay, sorry.
Breasts and cheeks get a lot of attention by men. Men looking at the breast and cheeks, but you're not concentrating on her personality, her brain, her body language. When something makes her mad, how is she treating her kids? Because how many women you gonna meet today that don't have no kids? How is she treating her kids? How does she treat her baby daddy? How does she treat her mom? How does she treat the people around in her community? Right? So you're not paying attention to that.
Y'all
you get
too
so
busy
fixated.
looking at them legs.
Right. And then once you get post-nut clarity, now you stuck.
Post-nut clarity.
Not necessarily. I mean, it depends on the woman as well. I mean, here's the thing, and Tam, that's an excellent question.
That's an excellent question.
Because back in the day, young Saint, when I was a youngin' out there, 3-day rule, absolutely. But was I trying to marry somebody? Was I trying to settle down? Nah, I didn't know I was gonna be living tomorrow. I was living that life, right? I was out there protecting our country, and then when I got back, I was in the streets. I didn't care. Here's the thing now, old Saint, if I meet a woman as beautiful as the women on this panel right now, and I'm sure as beautiful as the women in the chat, that's got her thing, she's got her fun, she's got herself together, she's got her mind right. Let's just say that I ran into her, right? And I take her out to dinner. It's not me trying to get her in 3 days. It's her trying to get me in 3 days.
It done flipped.
It done flipped because it's all about that freedom, that sexual. I got the back. I got all this masculine energy, and I'm about to show him. Okay, go ahead and show
that
me.
Ain't everybody, but
That's
okay.
not
No, I'm not saying it's everybody, but that's what you bump into. Go ahead and show me. And then they're like, oh, you want to go out again? Nah, what's up with your girl? Because you put yourself in that situation. I can no longer see you. Or we go out the first night, everything's cool. We go out the second night, everything's cool. The third night I go out and we at Komodo. I come down to Miami, we go to Miami, we at Komodo. We still haven't done anything. We go to Komodo and I see all my dudes and they're in there and they all know her. It's a wrap.
So what advice do you give, Nathan, specifically speaking to you because we're both in Atlanta and you know exactly how it is here?
Yeah.
This is just respectfully, like, what advice would you give to the wholesome woman, right? The wholesome woman, like, okay, if I have to give a really quick backdrop about myself, I'm 30 years old. I have no children, never been married, all of that jazz, right? I'm not the type that's like you guys are describing, you know, just trying to hop in the bed within a couple
3
of days or even a couple of months.
Right.
And it's like, it seems, because what it's looking like is that regardless of what caliber of men is out here, whether it's the 35K guy all the way up to the film producer, it looks like people just don't want to settle down because we're starting to give up.
Yeah, I've given up too. Listen, I think what you're absolutely correct. What happens, you are an alien in your own culture, right? Because what's happening is a lot of our people in our community, too many of them, right, have surrendered to the new way, the modern way of doing things. I'm a traditional person. You know, I've gotten slack from opening a woman's door. I've gotten slack for asking a woman if she needs help with something, right? Like, this is the norm now. This is a new thing. And it's a thing where it's like, I'm a woman. I don't need, you know, does this look like I'm weak while you're asking me, right? There's a different Society has changed. Morality is one of those things where it's subjective. And when society decides what the morals are and what they are not anymore, you either go along with it or you're outcasted. And I am like you, we are outcast. And so again, you cannot settle. You cannot settle, and you have to hold out and make sure you are dealing with someone who is looking for the same thing that you're looking for. It's just that simple. And it's difficult because so many people in our community has given into it. I went to the movies the other day. I walk in the bathroom and there's a woman in there. And she's at the stall standing up.
In your bathroom, in the male bathroom?
In the male's bathroom. Again, welcome to America, right? When I was growing up,
Atlantic Station. What is
this
Atlantic Station?
Yeah, so this was in Cobb.
Okay.
Hey, but Nathan, you and Harmony Pill need to have coffee, brother. That's what it sounds like to me. Y'all need to have coffee. I'm serious. Y'all need to have coffee, and then it is what it is, because we can talk until we're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, people from my side of the internet are always gonna fall back on women will not tolerate a guy who makes less than them. Women tend to date their level or up. And then if you believe that so wholeheartedly, then you see a couple of examples of you like that's it, that's the gospel. And I'm hearing from the women here tonight that's like, no, we don't mind that we make more than our significant other if it's a good person. So I mean, hold on, real quick, Sam.
Hold on, we back in the bathroom. I want to know what happened.
I want to say that
Sorry,
real quick, Tam,
late night stream. It's almost midnight Eastern, y'all. I'm gonna have Nathan tell a story, and then we're gonna give final comments, and then we're going to bed. But go ahead, Nathan, with your story.
I was gonna say, I think again, this all falls back on culture, because our culture right now is fixated on status, lifestyle, and money. And that's on both men and women. You know, men are focused on getting money for what? To impress women. Women are like, I need a man who has this, because I want the lifestyle that I see other people have, I see my girlfriends have, I see on social media. We're living a fictitious lifestyle.
Yep.
People are willing to die for it. They're willing to commit crime for it.
Bro.
They're willing to do whatever it takes because they want to look like they are somebody.
Yes.
You know, our community is so big on validation. We need to be validated by society, by others, whatever. Again, we all know the truth. We can talk about the experiences we have, but it's a corrupt and it's a very malignant problem in our community. It's very pervasive, and a lot of people are acquiescing to it, right? Everyone's just bowing down to this new way of doing things, and it's destroying our community. And we have really good people in our community that are looked down, they're shamed, they're said they're not black, quote unquote, because they think different. They, you know, people say I sound white when I talk, right? Because I articulate words, right? Like, it's one of these things where we speak negative to positive things in our community. So when you have a woman who is proud about, you know, abstaining from sex, waiting for marriage, or very selective with her partners, she's insulted. She's called names, right? She's called a pick-me. Like, what?
Yes.
This is from our women.
Exactly.
We're insulting, where we should be glorifying women who see value in that.
Thank you.
Make that make sense. There's a whole community, right? So we have men who are calling women chameleons, and they're calling them what are the name? Mammies.
Pick me, mammy, chameleon, all of it.
I mean, what is our this is our people, right? So again, this is the same group of people now. We will uplift drug dealers and gangsters as they come out of prison and throw them parties, right? Again, so there's some backwardsness to it. All I can say is that we can't give up. We have to make sure we are in the communities and the spaces where like-mindedness is there and thrives, and not settle for what we see on television. A lot of we're too scattered. Quality Black men and women are too scattered. Those who actually truly want family, want to build, and want to create something bigger than what we see or what we have been seeing. And then here's the thing: how do you maintain it? You know, you have kids and you have to raise them around the chaos, right? So that's another, I think about that all the time. I might take my wife and then move out the country and raise my children, because there's no way, you know, it's just that bad. It is.
Dr. Thunder talks about that, Nathan, when he says, like, it just keeps him up at night thinking about his son and who he's going to have to marry if it's this bad now. Nathan, there was a couple questions. Everybody trying to hook everybody up in the chat. I don't know what's up with y'all. Must be a late night stream.
But you know what? I don't like to take it to church or anything like that. But
Yes.
it always goes back to what D.L. Saint said. D.L.
Yes.
Saint said we had that thing that we go back to that leveled us out. And even in the Bible, because I know, Nathan, you're a man of faith as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the Bible, it says in those times where it's going to be so chaotic that it's going to look like it's the end of time. And it says that everything that's considered good will be talked about and considered bad.
Facts.
And everything that is bad will be considered good and talked about as good. And so the Bible, a lot of people say, I don't believe it. That's fine. That's okay. But the Bible is fulfilling itself by saying those things.
That's right.
In the word, it said women will be haters of their own daughters. Daughters will hate their moms. Sons will hate their fathers, and fathers will hate their children.
We're living in it.
We're living it.
Yeah, we are
You
living
about
it.
to have me blow all that dirt off the dust off my Bible. I have to read that before I go to bed.
Prophecy
tonight.
right here going on. Yeah, I'm tired. But hold
we're
on now.
living
Hold
it.
on. Nathan, question for you before we
Look
get
at
everybody's last comment. This has been wonderfully enlightening. I hope y'all watching it enjoy it as much as I am participating. Ace Butterfly asks, are you, Nathan, are you seeking a traditional woman, or do you seek a modern woman hoping that she will submit or change to your preference?
Traditional. That's why it's so difficult. I was raised traditionally. My culture, as you know, Suzette, you know, we're both Jamaican, so I'm raised a particular way. And so, yeah, traditional all day. Modern doesn't work. I've been dating modern all my life, and I never understood the difference. I just thought it was a Western thing, while I was having such bad outcomes with women. I won't say bad outcomes, but not having the outcomes I wanted. I need tradition. I'm a very traditional person. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with modern women. I think modern people need to get with modern people, because I'm traditional. So for me, I have to be with a traditional woman. It just doesn't work. I can't go backwards, because that's what I saw as, you know, as I'm 36. So, you know, I'm right on the cuffs of, you know, the good times as it's transitioning into the times we are now. Before
Older
social media,
millennial,
before computer, all that. So how many and then I would say this too about the Bible. Now I've tried to date in the church, and I'm gonna tell you what issue I had there and issues I've seen other guys had.
Oof. Wait, say more time.
The delusion.
Yep.
The delusion in the church is at an all-time high.
Exactly.
And,
Meaning what? Tell me what you mean by that.
False sense of reality and expectations when it comes to how a partner is supposed to be given to you or sent to you, right? And I had a woman and that I was looking at. She was great person. You know, I'm at my church a lot before COVID, and I reached out to her. You know, I did the thing or whatever, and it worked. I mean, the dating was good, but the issue came up where it was, hey, how did you come to me, right? What was it about me that got your attention? I said, you're very attractive, you know, and I've seen you here, whatever. She said, well, did God speak to you?
That's a bit much.
I'm like, what? You know, and so what's happening now, a lot of our sisters in the church are waiting for, they're looking for this fairy tale.
Disney.
They're looking for that church. I'll say the church fairy tale setup for their relationship, right? And what do I mean by that? They start, unfortunately, there are some women, no matter what their color is, there's some women, this is what I've seen, who are trying to emulate the setup, the same setup of another woman or another couple in the church. They like the story. The story sounds good. How'd you guys meet? Oh, I was volunteering, whatever, and he bumped into me, and then the chapter of the Bible opened up to this, right? And I knew that was God speaking to me. So then now you have women who are looking at that like, I need something similar, right? I need something cool to share with other women to make it, to validate it, right? And so what I've noticed from guys I've talked to in the church, they're saying that there's this false sense of reality. Like the women, a lot of women don't want to move on a situation unless they feel like, you know, God is speaking through a bush, an animal, or some type of divine
intervention.
time.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how do you know the spirit just didn't move me to come and talk to you? Right. So I gotta speak Christianese, in the church. But needless to say, it didn't work out, right? It didn't work out. And it's just one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, the process of connecting with someone doesn't change no matter where you find them at, right? You still have to be compatible. And so, religion is a thing. So of course, when I meet women, I run into the issue of whether or not the religious compatibility is going to work. Overall vision. Can we sit down and we talk about what a vision looks like? I still have my individual life as you do too. Can we bring this together and work on how can we accomplish goals together as a couple? And also as individuals, can we still support each other on those? There's so much to talk about. And I think a lot of those things I learned from interviewing people on domestic violence cases, understanding what was it that caused their relationship to fall apart. So now when I date, I know what questions to ask. It's very interesting.
So can a woman have her own vision?
Absolutely.
Let's be careful.
And again, would you date someone who is abstaining from sex?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now listen.
DL ain't saying nothing.
I'll go last. All
right. So when we talk about vision, I look at it like this. If I'm an individual person, the purpose of us dating is for us to vet each other. Our whole purpose of dating is to learn from each other, learn what our visions are, what our purpose. We're supposed to have two purposes, right? What is your individual purpose in life? Then what is our purpose, our mission as a couple, as a married couple? People aren't asking these questions at all, right? What is our mission? Just like we have an individual mission today before we meet each other, there needs to be a purpose for us being married. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? And if you're not asking that question, what is guiding the marriage, right? People are getting together because it's fun. And then when the fun runs out, they don't know what else to do. You have to have a purpose. This is a mission. There's a purpose for us getting together. What is our mission? Because if you have a mission, guess what? A mission, there's roles. So what role are you playing in this mission? You have to discuss these things. A lot of people do not. And when they come across hard times, they're unable to bounce back because they never had anything solid in the beginning. And so when we talk about, hey, I want to create, candles or something. This is an idea for me. I paint, so I like to paint. So say I have this vision of painting. I want to do this, whatever. Me and you get together and we talk about our individual goals. I don't want you to lose your identity while we're together. I still want you to have that. I still want you to go after that because it's still a part of you. But we also have to have a collective identity and a collective mission. You cannot ignore that piece. And too many people make someone choose their identity or their personal goals over the mission of the marriage. And I don't think that works. I've never seen that work. People are miserable. And again, you can make it work. You just have to negotiate. You have to structure it properly and be respectful and understanding. And I think it works. And communication has to be at the forefront of that.
I think your points are well taken. I just want to piggyback on people need to be mentored by married couples. I think this is big. We haven't had good transferal of life knowledge going on in the Black community.
I pushed back on that one only because
life knowledge is being to the kids.
No, push back on the people need to be mentored by married couples.
Tell me what you feel then.
Okay. The only thing is just because you're married doesn't mean that the two people.
We'll add the word healthy or viable, or you can qualify it. No problem. That's what I meant when I said married, not just any old married couple.
Because when it comes to the vision thing that Nathan was talking about, even if you it's like working at a company. If we decide as people we're going to work at BOA, right? When we get there, they already have a mission and a vision of where they want their company to go. That's most men. Men should have a vision where they want to go. When they meet their wives come in and bring policy, right? So there's a vision. We're already headed somewhere, right? We're going to be successful. So I think that there needs to be a collective, like he just said. It needs to be a collective. Yeah, you guys need to have your own mind and what you want to do, but there should be an ultimate goal that you guys are getting to. And I think that you asked the question, that somebody asked the question in the chat that says, what's the difference between a modern woman?
Yes, I think this is a good question. Yes.
And a traditional woman. Mm-hmm. A traditional woman is the woman that does follow the vision of her husband, and he leads, but at the same time, she grows them. She grows herself. She grows their relationship. They become one together, working cohesively together. The modern woman says, listen, this is my bank account, this is my money. I'm independent. All I need from you is your penis. You ain't getting none of my money. You ain't gonna know what my bank account say. You're not gonna know. I'm telling you what.
Modern mind and thinking is more like separate but equal.
Yeah.
Right. And then traditional is more we are one. We move as one. We act as one. We are one.
Exactly.
And so modern is more. It's opposite of tradition. Think of everything that's opposite. Modern. I meet modern women and they're like, let's make this marriage the way we want to make it. Right. They have an idea like, let's customize it. Well, once you get out of the confines of what it actually is, it's no longer a marriage. I.e. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. They customized their marriage to fit what they wanted it to be. And again, we all know how that works. You know, once you take the stripes off of a tiger, it's no longer a tiger.
But I don't think we were under
it's like
the
vegan.
guise
It's like a vegan burger. No, it's vegetable patty.
Yeah, but I don't think they were under the guise.
Actually, it's not a burger.
Of like a biblical sense.
Well, Will was a devout Christian.
Right. So that's
he was a devout Christian.
That's just
yeah,
an
he
example.
was. But when he said "I do," that went away.
Yeah, she took it away.
That's taken away. That's just an example of saying going tradition to something more modern. More modern marriage is we make it what we want to make it. We do what feels right versus we operate within the confines of these rules, of this structure, of this foundation, of this guidelines. Now, I mean, that's fine. I think to each his own. If you have two people who come to the same agreement, then who cares, right? If it works for them, it works for them. That's like people talk about what about the traditional roles? Some people only like certain roles when it benefits them. My thing is what is discussed between two people needs to be honored. That's how I look at it. So if me and my girlfriend get together and we're on our pathway to marriage and we sit down and we have these conversations, I can cook. So if I find out you can't cook that well, you're not getting in the kitchen like that. It just is what it is. And so, I'll be throwing down.
I'm tired. Listen, hello.
You leaving?
Listen,
yes, Guardian. Yeah.
Hey, so Harmony, are you able to come and join that panel tomorrow with the ladies?
Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna be on tomorrow.
I said it's 9
Central, 8 Eastern.
Yeah, 9 Central.
Yeah, definitely. I should be able to do that.
Okay, I'll put my email in the back chat.
Okay.
So if I can get my last thoughts in there, because I'm listening to everything.
Everybody giving last thoughts right now, please. Go ahead.
I get my last thoughts.
I'm tired. Go ahead.
And I'm hearing a lot of good points, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I really want to continue this conversation. I really do. Someone was asking would I date a woman who was celibate. I would date a woman who's celibate, but I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't believe her. I mean, I just hear that a lot. I just wouldn't believe her. But one thing we haven't talked about tonight that we definitely need to address is the court system. The fact that 70 to 80% of the divorces are initiated by women, not men. Like we gotta delve into some numbers. And we gotta also talk about the the divorce rate is high, but we also gotta talk about the wealth transfer. It's normally from men to women, although I think that's gonna change now because women are making more money. So we're gonna start to see a change in the court system slowly. And another thing too, I wrote down here, the hurt is real, y'all. The hurt that we go through, each and every one of us, we handle it our own ways, but the hurt is real, and it's really hard to deal with that sometimes. And I wanted to say this because I hear this on the man's side of the internet, the RP side. One thing women, I'm talking to women right now, one thing women really need to understand and accept: men and women are different. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying one is not equal to the other. I'm not saying we are different. So when it comes to intimate relations, men can go through a lot of women, and I'm telling you, it does not affect us. It does not affect us. Generally speaking, men we're designed to spread our seeds far and wide. It hurts women to rack up.
Don't know if I agree with you on that.
I'm just trying to.
I know some men who have been.
I didn't say all men. I'm just saying.
And their spirit is damaged.
That's why. Yeah.
Yes, Suzette. Yes.
I do not agree with you on that.
I have to disagree with that. I think it affects us differently I think the outcomes are different, but men are affected because we see it in the acts of violence they commit against women.
That's correct.
You know, there's a sense of for whatever reason, I was talking about this just in the last stream. There's like a sense of ownership that some men feel like they have over women once they're intimate with them. That's why a lot of brothers, so we're talking about the fellas, a lot of brothers get in this mindset where once they're intimate with a woman, they think that that woman belongs to them.
Exactly.
And then they end up, this is something I see all the time, that man ends up cheating on that woman, right? And there's no emotional disturbance with him, right? This is kind of like almost like a psychopathic or sociopathic behavior, right? And here's the thing, but if that woman does it, the man is ready. Now, mind, this man been cheating his whole life in the marriage. As soon as she does it, he's ready to take her life.
Done.
Yep.
Right?
You better not do it.
So you better not do it. Right? You better not. So there's.
And my pushback on that, brother, is there are men who would just say you my woman and never be with you intimately and have the same reaction. I've seen dudes, they're unstable. There are women out there who do the same thing. But I'm just saying, by and large, there are guys that, because women are going out here, and there's studies on this out there. By the age of 18, they say the average woman has 6 partners. 6. The same guy by the age of 18 is a virgin. And you're telling me that by the time she's 25 and she has over 25, 30 partners, that doesn't affect her. Meanwhile, the bottom 80 guy might have 6 or 7 partners. That's something I want to do. I would like to explore that tomorrow or maybe later in the week. But and my final thing, and the final thing, I don't want to explore it now. We'll touch on it later. And the final thing, everybody's talking about relationships. We touched on the Disney fairy tale. We touched on the church ramifications and all that. What people don't understand or refuse to accept is relationships are hard. I've never been in a relationship that was easy. My relationship with my brother is hard. My relationship with my business partners is hard. My relationship with YouTube right now is hard, right? It's hard. I don't know why people think they're going to get married to somebody and then jump the broom or whatever we're doing these days and think we're going to ride off into the sunset. It's all about duty. When's the last time you talked to a married couple, man or woman, and they talked about duty? Right. So we're having
young people don't know nothing about that.
They don't know nothing about that.
Vow. It's not to the man, It's to you, your God, the vow, the promise that you keep. Most of us think if he act right, I'm gonna give him what's right.
I'm gonna give him what's right.
The vow is in spite of.
In spite of.
A lot of people wouldn't get married if they understood that concept.
It's too easy to get married.
Don't need to be no husband or no wife because they don't understand.
They're not capable of it.
Suzette,
it's too easy to get married. It's too easy to get divorced. And everyone's going to get hurt. Men are getting hurt now. Women are getting hurt later. That was my last thought.
Suzette, let me tell you this real quick. There's this guy. I used to go to this. They used to have this male class or whatever. But this guy and this lady came in one day, and they sat down and told their story. And real quick, I'm not going to give the whole thing. Just a short version. She said that her husband cheated on her the day before they got married at his bachelor party. He cheated on her.
That's not uncommon,
right? Okay,
I heard. This. Yes, it's not.
9 months later, here's your baby. Right? So he tells her, he admits to her, I cheated. Right? Not only she goes to watch this. This is why it's important to have people around you that are that are strong enough to handle your situation with you. So she said she went to her mom. Her mom told her, listen, you've been a wife for 9 months. You're still a wife, even after this news.
My Lord.
I'm gonna walk you through it. And she said her mom walked her through it. And she said for 10 years, she despised her husband, but her duty was more important than her feelings.
My Lord.
She said she still had sex with her husband. They even adopted the kid. She said she raised the kid. They got the kid when the kid was 4 months old. She raised it in her house, fed the baby every day. Right? She said her duty was more important than her emotion. And she said after that 10-year span, when she started to fall all back gooey in love with her husband, she told him, it took me 10 years to get to this point, but he never knew it. She said she never stopped being a wife.
Wow.
There go your miracle right there, y'all, because that is not going to happen every day.
It's not going to happen.
Jesus be a fence around us all.
Yeah, listen, Jesus help, Lord. Thank you, God, for this conversation. Thank you, Dia. I'm going to drop you down. See you over at Black Man Unfiltered, 9 Central, 8 Eastern tomorrow night. Appreciate you, my
Wouldn't that-
brother, for being here. All right. Yeah, no, I done dropped you out the street quick. Sorry.
Oh, like, wouldn't that be the other way around? It's
9 Central, 8 Eastern.
Is it?
Yeah, no, 9
It would-
9
it would be
Central,
9
10 Eastern.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
10
yeah.
o'clock?
Oh, it's 10 o'clock?
So what time is
It's 9 o'clock Central Time for me.
so it'd be
it's
it would be
10.
it'd be 10
So
o'clock
it's
here.
10 o'clock here.
I'm so
Well, that'll
glad
give
you
me time to
said
leave the gym,
that.
and then I can do it. Cool.
It'd be 10 o'clock here. I'll be there, brother.
You can do it, Harmony.
Yeah.
We
I
gonna
should
give
be
you about
done
a
at the
good
gym
hour,
around,
hour and a half.
9,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there, but I'm like Craig. I ain't got no job, but I'm retired, ladies. It's not like I ain't doing nothing.
I'm so glad you said that. I
And
would
I
have been
put
here
my
at 8
email
o'clock.
in the chat, Harmony.
Do
I
what?
Yeah.
would
Sorry.
I
totally.
put my email in the private chat, so you can email me so I can send you the
I would've been in the
information.
wrong time.
So
Thank
a
y'all for
great
saying that.
conversation, guys. Hey, chat. I love y'all. Y'all rocking it out. I'm gonna get y'all to come to the red pill side. Ha ha. Talk to y'all later.
All right. We'll see. Thank you,
All
DL.
right.
Good night,
The
my friend. See you.
I put my email in the chat. Black man, I have a show, but after my show I'll drop by.
Yeah, that's the one that I shared for you.
Oh, that's what's up. You dropped it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
cool.
I'm saying that the show that you told me to tag, the tag we did about the shooting.
Yeah, that's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday. Okay, cool.
So you remember that? Well, should I talk about it later? About
Yeah,
the
we'll talk
girl,
about
the
it later.
girl on the TikTok thing. Yeah, I'm interviewing her and her attorney tomorrow. Oh,
Ooh,
Suzette,
which one?
I
Tell
have a
us about
civil
it.
attorney. I have a civil attorney coming on my show tomorrow. I'm
What
interviewing-
time?
7 o'clock Eastern
Okay,
time.
we can
So
catch
6
it.
o'clock.
This the girl in Arlington?
This is a girl in Arlington who got
Yeah,
pinned up by the police.
Yeah.
it's
No,
gonna be
quick.
good.
Tell us the background for people who may not know.
All right, so this young lady put out a TikTok video, went viral about how she was abused by the Arlington police. They put guns on her, everything. They're looking for a male suspect, but they end up hemming her up. They got the wrong room. They got the wrong location at a hotel
Wow.
room, and she
Wow.
went through a whole lot of stuff. It looks like it was based on racially profiling from one of the employees at the location. Said, "Hey, you're looking for a black person? There's some black folks in this room." And then the SWAT team came, hemmed her up or whatever. And so she's filming, talking to the supervisor. The supervisor is apologizing, said, "Hey, this is just a learning curve. There's something we can learn from it." And she's like, "Learning curve? I could have died." And so
Right.
that went viral. So I reached out to her because Mandrill on Black Men Unfiltered, when I went to speak on his channel in reference to police brutality, police issues, that was one of the cases he wanted me to look into. And I was like taken by it. And one of the things that really moved me about what she said was, she said this wasn't about race. She said, because there was plenty of black people there and I was still mistreated. So that's very important. On my channel, I talk about the idea that race is not the biggest issue involving law enforcement encounters. And so I wanted to get her take on it and give her story. And she turned down interviews from a lot of top, people.
Is she coming on your show?
And she coming on my show. So, I felt
That's a
special.
good look.
The
Yeah.
favor.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
So,
we'll hit the button. We'll hit the notification
you hit the
bell.
notification. I'll send it to you, Suzette. Throw it on you if you
Please.
throw it on community tab.
Absolutely.
And he's a civil attorney as well. So I plan on shouting him out. He's a really good dude. I had a chance to talk to him for an hour or so. And I told him, we're all in the same game. I want police accountability. I want proper police reform. And
All
so
right.
it's gonna be a great
Well,
conversation.
shout out to you on
Thank
landing that interview tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Y'all check out Nathan, please. Y'all don't want me to go to bed, apparently. So I'm gonna go one more time. Nathan, give me your final comments. We've wrapped up. And Will and Jada lessons is case closed for the night. And we're gonna be on whatever time tomorrow.
Right.
Unfiltered. 9. Is it 9 my time?
9 Central Standard Time. Yes, Central.
10 my time.
It gets wild over there now. It's unfiltered, so you get ready.
I don't
Be
know if I'm gonna be
prepared.
able to hang y'all. I'm tired now.
You can turn
so-
up over there. It's censor free. You can censor free.
Oh, nice.
Oh God.
You talking about thigh,
That's
breasts, and
terrible.
legs.
Give
over
me.
here.
I don't know if we're gonna be that turn.
Oh,
Let's see.
okay.
My final thoughts is one, I want to just thank you, Suzette. I think it's great to have these conversations, these discussions. It's healthy that we have them. People are respectful with one another. I think that's such key, that we are showing that Black men and Black women can have tough conversations without disrespecting one another, not turning into a whole, So I just honor you for that. I thank you for that. I think we need to continue to uplift our content creators who are doing positive content and really just showcasing Black people in a positive light. And overall, I just think that, you know, the examination needs to be on our culture and figure out a way to reverse engineer it. We know that the key to solving a lot of our problems in this country are going to resort back to the family. Rebuilding the family is absolutely key. It needs to be a priority, and it's going to require those who are successful in their families, successful just in general, to come back and lend a hand in order to help change the environment. Not necessarily saying we got to drag people who don't want to be dragged, but if we essentially fix the environment, we can then, it will then have the type of effect and impact over time. So we start now, we should see the results in about 3 generations down, but at least we're implementing some real action. And so those are my thoughts. And it starts with a conversation.
I disagree. I agree. I just agree with, we have to value the family.
Yep.
We have to value it. There's so many people who don't necessarily see the benefit. So I just hope if you are one of them and you've never seen something that's very healthy or strong or, you know, adding to a man's life, adding to a woman's life, ask some people who got some healthy relationships. Don't just, you know, take the vacuum of what's here on YouTube. There's a lot of good people in good, healthy marriages.
Yep.
And we're not talking about it. When TLA kept showing them old men sleeping with their mouth open at the mall, my heart was hurting. I was like, TLA, please stop with the clip art with the old man with their mouth open at the mall talking about they're battered, man. I'm like, they're not battered. They're tired and they sat on the couch and they opened their mouths and they took a cat nap, right? I think we got to be careful with this idea of bachelor for life. You got to be so. You ever seen old men by themselves? Y'all grow old too. Y'all grow old too. And no one's talking about, I wish I could start interviewing some people I see. I was at Miami Beach Sunday, and just everything that glitters is not gold. It ain't pretty, and you can be taken advantage of just as much as a single woman into her mature years. But y'all keep talking about y'all gonna get 28-year-olds. What you gonna be doing with them?
There's a Black guy that came out on YouTube. He is, I want to say 52 or 62. And he talked about growing old. He said he never knew what he needed until he started noticing all his friends that were his age or and a little bit older were dying alone. One of his friends died by himself. Then nobody find him for 9 days. He had been in the house by himself.
Oh yeah. I met a woman. I had a crazy Sunday. I had a random woman. I gotta do that probably as a show by itself. 52, older European, is Miami Beach. When she told me about her life, I'm like, nobody should be single like this.
Yeah.
This is not how God designed us. And when you think about, everybody think they're going to be young and strong and can work forever. When one little thing befall you, sis, when one little thing befall you, my brother, you get in an accident, you get injured, you get sick. No one plans for that. But we think we're going to be young stallions forever. But guess what, my brother? You're not. Sorry. We got a reality too. We got a reality. Ladies got a reality too.
I think there should be a show on
if you could give me this guy's info or at least drop his channel, Tam.
Yeah, I will.
Send me an email.
I also think there needs to be a show on reality. And the reality is that some people are gonna be alone. And what
not everybody's gonna get married.
And
that's true too.
And what things they can do. Like I was on my show this weekend, and there are like cruise ships for seniors that they actually can live on, but they also have the ability to interact with other people, and they also have people come check on them. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just offering other opportunities if people are gonna be
100%,
that way.
100%. God, by the grace of God, if I ever find a husband, but we don't know what is going to be our fate, because I listened to this 52-year-old talk to me, and my heart, it was aching. It was like, God, thank you for this reminder. Oh my goodness. I mean, so many things had happened to her. Like, when people just get bad luck back to back to back, like in the last 2 years, her life basically fell apart. And because she lived in Miami Beach, I want to say, sis, I was like, you never met anybody? I want to say, because you lived in Miami Beach, I know you met a lot of users. I know you met people that was seeking the limelight. You should have been left the beach. What's up? But you stayed there, and now the people got older, and now you done changed generations. You're the older woman now in a hot girl summer Miami Beach. So who are your friends? Who she said she caught COVID? Ain't nobody bring her nothing. Not a soup, not a salad, nothing. I thought to myself, God, help us to like live in reality and to understand the importance of whether you're married or whether you're single, relationships. It frightened me. I said, God, she trying to make Sue her friend. I can't be your friend, ma'am. I can't be your friend right now. But it hurt my heart just to listen to her and all the different things that life unfortunately dealt her and how she was unprepared for it. It really scared me. I really was like, I could do a whole show on that actually.
That's actually good. That's actually a good show. After my accident, I thought I was gonna die. You know what I mean? And one of the things I looked at was, I had no children, and this wasn't on purpose. And sometimes we live in the moment so much that we can't see tomorrow. And the reality was, if that was the last moment of my life, then I would have no legacy to pass on. I want a big family. I want like 3-4 kids. And so, I look at the idea of, never having that opportunity to be a father. And so you're absolutely correct. And then, and not being active at that time in a relationship, it's like people always like, who's on your emergency contact? Like mama,
Exactly.
Mama and them.
Right. Mama and them.
It is. It is. It's tough. And I think people like to front like that's what they want. But no, when they get there, nobody wants to be alone. We weren't designed to be alone.
Man or woman. That's what I'm saying. That like I'm hearing TLA. I love my brother. I'm like, don't get married. I'm like, why are you telling people this?
Because the culture is messed up. I mean, I think
I love TLA. Respect to my big brother in the space. But I just feel like
the culture.
The culture. He's right, because he's saying because the culture is so damaged, people don't know how to be together properly. We don't really understand what it means to be married. It is a duty and a responsibility, and it's a mission. And if you're not looking at it like that, you don't have that mentality, then don't do marriage, because you're going to fail at it. Right. And so it's supposed to be a building process, not let me get all this on my own and then let's come together. By then it's kind of a little too late. There's a joy and a freedom in coming together and experiencing life together. And a lot of us, we try to experience life before we get with our partner. And then there's no life to really share with them, because we went out here and, you done cartwelled and swung across all kind of stuff, men and women, right? You done threw your seat around all types of places. You done did backflips on all types of on sticks and bricks.
And so, but not them knees wrapped up though.
Yeah, hopefully, right? And so by the time you get it, it look like a piece of what? Snicker bar, right? So,
wow.
And I'm just saying, and then right, even with the women, I said that the other day. A lady was saying, "Oh, women should be out there to be able to get rid of that." You were on there, Nathan, when she said women get hot, women need to have sex, and I was like, "Yeah, but you don't want your vagina looking like a whale carcass."
That's
we got to go. Suzette speaks after dark.
Suzette after dark, right?
Lord, where were you?
Triple X rated.
Yeah,
the truth, but
what you said is very powerful. They talk about Senator Nathan Daly in the chat.
Yeah, you should run for office.
Yeah, for real.
People keep saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I have too much of a good heart. I couldn't do it because I can't deal with the cowardness, and I can't deal with.
Don't be bought up by the machine.
Nah, never.
Let the Lord use you.
Nah, I'd never do it because I'm too. They had a hard time promoting me because I was calling people out on the job. So I don't operate like that. I feel like I can make better moves here on the ground than up there, because then you have to deal. If I'm the only good and everybody else around me is corrupt, I can't make my mistake.
Sure.
Yeah. So
wow. All right, Nathan. I'm gonna drop you down, brother. Thank you.
It was a pleasure, you guys.
Appreciate you.
All right, my brother.
Have a great night.
Right.
Every and anytime. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Then there were how much? 3? Oh, no, okay. Who want to go for the final comments, please? Go ahead. Who wants to go? Harmony Pill, you go.
I'll
go ahead. Tam, go ahead.
Harmony Pill, I sent you an email.
Okay.
The only thing I would want to say is I think a lot is put on the family, but I also think we need to have some conversations about our own mental health first before we get into it. And what does that look like? And when I say that, I'm saying from not just the trauma, but also the happy times, and how do you share? How do you communicate? What does that look like? I often run into men and women that really don't even know how to have a conversation, and that ranges from all ages, all genders, all whatever, right? And so I often now I don't want to say feel, but I often find myself in conversations, like in therapy conversations with people, because just like
All the time.
all the time, it's because though
No
I
healing has
I don't
taken
want to say
place.
those people don't have outlets.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's
It,
me
it,
and the lady in Miami Beach. I'm
yeah,
trying to go to my car, and I end up walking the lady way to her condo. But
right.
no, she don't have nobody to. I said, this woman, for her to take a set on me, don't have nobody she could talk to, no one who could judge her, no one who knew her backstory, just to be able to be important, to matter. It was
Yeah.
frightening.
And
But
it's often said that those with nurturing spirits have people that tend to um, get people who are, I don't want to say broken, but need someone to talk to. That they're usually the person. You're usually the person that people gravitate towards.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
so having that individual protection, that I don't want to call it a wall, but
No boundaries.
boundaries,
100%. 100%.
and understanding that. And I just want to say, to wrap it up, is before we hop into relationships and focusing on who's traditional, who's modern, figure out who's healthy first,
Mm.
mentally and physically, right?
Mm.
And then move accordingly, because everybody you meet that's mentally healthy and physically healthy is not your person. So you have to
Mm.
find your person.
Mm. That's good word. Tam, do you have a channel?
Yep.
Drop it
My
in the
channel.
chat.
Yeah, I will. My channel is Women in Linux, where
Oh,
we talk about, as much people as hate to talk about it, we talk about getting your money in tech and investing in other places. And one of my missions is to get people in tech to make 200,000. And so one of the biggest reasons for that is for so people can become accredited investors and build wealth. I
like
think
venture capitalist, VC?
so when I say build wealth, meaning like, hey, you can become an accredited investor, so you can and be able to invest into a company that's pre-series A,
Mm.
right? That company may only need $1,000, but they're going to look at your tax returns for the last 2 years to see if you made that $200,000 to become an accredited investor. Or
That's interesting. That's
or
very
you yeah,
interesting.
or you may want to invest into a real estate fund, but that real estate fund needs to know that you meet the goal of that 200,000. So just looking at ways that you can make your money in tech and then invest it into real estate and invest that into stocks, ETFs, whatever, annuities, whatever you choose, but make your best move with some understanding of what you can do and build wealth for your family.
That's a wonderful platform.
Thank you.
They quote when you Ace Butterfly says, figure out who is healthy first, mentally and physically. Sis, drop your channel. You know who you should collaborate with? Have you seen Before the Billions?
Yep, I've been on Before the
You been on
Billions a
there?
couple
Okay,
of
cool.
times.
I'm gonna keep an eye out and go check your channel out, my
Yeah, I
darling. Thanks
dropped it
for coming up.
in the back chat.
I'll put it in the regular chat too so people
Okay,
can find you.
I'll
Thank
do that.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. You're welcome up anytime. Thank you so much. I'll check out your channel.
All right, you all be safe and
Appreciate it.
have a good
Good,
night.
good, good insights tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. The Harmony Pill. And then there were two.
Salud, bendiciones. Salud. Thank you so much, Suzette, for having me on. It's always just a breath of fresh air to come on your channel, especially given the amount of toxicity that's infiltrated not only the YouTube space, but just our everyday lives.
Yes.
So this is where I come to get a breather. And then on top of that, just living in a city like where I am, Atlanta, I know there are others that are just as messy, but my experience here in Atlanta, it's been pretty interesting, disheartening at times. So when I come across men like Nathan and Black Men Unfiltered, it really serves as a beacon of light and super encouraging just to know that there are still good men out there who really get it. So
Absolutely. We need the
yeah.
reminder. I'm with you, sis.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gail at Night. You know we up late. If Gail at Night that came over since
Right.
Gail is coming through. Thank you, Sunbreeze. I saw you two come in a little bit later. Appreciate you. We need to get 100 likes. Y'all hit the like button, please. We at 90. Let's get them likes up. I've been up all night trying to
But
get
yes,
likes.
we're gonna let you go to
But
sleep.
that
Thank
is
you,
so
guys.
sweet of you to say. I'm grateful. Like I said, sometimes you get discouraged. You're like, oh, I'm not growing. I might grow. You think, what topic are they relating to the topics? But I just appreciate good conversation that builds up and doesn't break down. So for you to say that, that's what you feel when you come here. That means a lot. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
Shout out your channel, love. What are you talking about over there?
On the Harmony Pill, hence the word harmony. You can go to my channel. Starting with the motto, look on the channel's motto. It's basically counteracting the new age culture of division, because as you can see, there is a lot of division between men and women, and that's just not my style. I appreciate this panel tonight. It serves as a very good example of how men and women can actually come together and speak on the hard topics without being combative and without, turning into a battle royale. So
Absolutely.
I'm super thankful for this, and I'll definitely be back again. I'll see you guys tomorrow
night, the
show.
Harmony Pill. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can make it. Thanks for clarifying the time.
Yes, tomorrow at 10.
And I appreciate you being here, sis. You have a great evening. Welcome up
Igualmente,
anytime.
gracias.
You
Ciao.
take care. All right. Thank you. And then the man of the hour. It was his night. You see him there. Go ahead and subscribe. Please, while you're at it, because we'll be over on his channel tonight. I can't believe we've been going this strong. 50-some people up and down. Thank y'all. Thank you to all of my viewers. Thank you to the people from both Facebook and on YouTube. We have been pretty consistent all night. Upwards of 50 people just hanging, and I'm grateful. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. But your final thoughts on this topic, sir? The toxic relationship lessons from Will and Jada. We've gone through a lot, so I don't know where you want to pick up at. But
thank you, Miss Global.
floor is yours.
I was muted and I was talking and nobody heard me. So thank you. But I will say thank you guys. Thank you for having me on, Suzette. You are amazing. I've been watching you for a very, very long time. Saw you for the first time on TLA. And so thank you for allowing me to grace your platform tonight. It was amazing to sit here and have great conversation with you. And so I call this dinner time conversation. Mine is probably a little bit more, but tomorrow it'll be different because we'll have a panel full of Black women, and I know Black women respect each other and they don't have a lot of chaos in them.
Now you trying to be funny? Is that what that was?
No. I meant that. So no, but I know the women that you choose. See, I chose the
exactly
panel.
the right group of Black women know what time it is. But go ahead.
So thank you, Brother Red. He says my channel is dope. He follows me. Thank you. So guys, if you haven't followed me, please go over and to Black Men Unfiltered and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Watch some of the content that's over there. We have a great time. Full of laughter, full of seriousness. We do it all. So thanks Suzette, thank this platform, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at Black Men Unfiltered.
Thank you. Y'all see it there. Thanks, RM. You were up late tonight. Gail at Night. Some reason in the building came in a little after dark. We have gone. It's almost 1 a.m. Eastern. I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, mark your calendars. Hit the reminder button. We're going over to this gentleman's channel. Go subscribe right now to Black Man Unfiltered podcast. You see it there tomorrow, 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
Yeah, right.
We're going to be talking about Black women with Black women. I love it. And I cannot wait to see all of you over there, and I'll share it on my community page. It's been fun, sir. Thank you for coming on and accepting my invitation. All right, good night. I'm going to let you get to bed. Y'all, it's, I'm going to have a rough morning. But it was worth it. It was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed for the last time. I'm grateful that you watched. I hope you enjoyed the topic. Wednesday, we're going to talk soul ties. I think it'll be on late, kind of like 8-ish, 8:30. soul tie coach. I'm trying to confirm her. I think we're confirmed, but not sure of the time. Wednesday, I think will be the next live because I'll be on Black Man Unfiltered tomorrow. So go subscribe, y'all. We'll be on 10 Eastern, 9 Central. He's awesome. Very unfiltered, very forthright. I love that. And then Saturday, I think I'm going to do an author. Saturday, 12 noon, I'm pretty standard at that time. But for one more desire, get 100 likes. Can we get 100 likes, please? Before I go to my bed, I've been up late. At least let me get 100 likes. If you want to support the stream, we also have the Cash App. Appreciate your support, $ Suzette Speaks. And last but not least, the Patreon community is a light for me. Get to do kind of topics I want to do in a more small kind of intimate setting with some really awesome people. So if you want more content, personal development, not available on the channel, come check me out for the exclusive members only group Patreon. It's very affordable. So go over to patreon.com and thank you. Special shout out to all my patrons. Love y'all. Thank you for holding me up in this content creating world. Thank you so much. We need it. And we appreciate each and every one of you. So I hope you enjoy, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do, sleep with this makeup on. I think I might sleep with this makeup on. Honestly, I might. Honestly, I think I am. Good sweet dreams to each and every one of you. Thank you. So I appreciate you saying this. Great combo, says Brown Cow Peace Lounge. Glad you got to catch the live. RM, we had you overtime, girl. You was working that thing and stayed all the way. Let's get 100 likes so I can get in my bed. Okay, no, I'm really got to go. But I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button on your way out. I'll see you tomorrow, then Wednesday and Saturday. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.